straight, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you hip in the front seat. Get my meals, I'm gunning for the money. Money in the bank. Coming with a dank, scrolling in the tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though? Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights Live, WoodwardSports.com. I'm Eazy, that's Spinmo Rax.
Yo.
Young Chris, KG. Ben Johnson's back, baby. Let's go. Hey, I know we lost.
I was down and out for a while.
Hey, KG called it. You called it. I believe Anson called it. It was just one. I mean, it felt too good to be true. I mean, like, this guy is one of the best play callers in the league. I thought he for sure. I mean, he was supposed to get a job. This is like a dream. Listen, I know we lost the NFC Conference Championship. I get it. Today felt like a W. I felt like we won something today, boys. I was almost happy enough to cry.
It brought me out of a spiral. I was in a spiral downwards. I'm not gonna lie. After that NFC Championship loss, a lot of waves hit. Was not feeling good. And then Ben Johnson came back like a guardian angel and brought me up from the mud. So,
man,
shout out to Ben Johnson.
We didn't even have to do a campaign.
Yeah.
We didn't even have to do a smear campaign.
He smeared himself.
You know, I think he smeared himself.
Oh, God, sounds
the self-smear.
That sounds weird.
That sounds terrible, but I think it's just indicative of this year's class being really good as far as head coaching candidates. Like, there was just a lot of good head coaches around.
No.
That's what I think.
I don't think that's what it is. I think it was Ben Johnson.
He decided to come back.
Ben Johnson wants to finish business.
You want to talk about him smearing himself? How about the fact that the Commanders brass was on their way to cold Detroit on a snowy day, having a snowy flight, and they had to find out while on flight, if they bought the Wi-Fi, I mean, they probably did, they're multimillionaires, whatever, but they had to find out on the flight that this man was staying. Chris, you have to read that one.
All right, here it is. It's basically what you just said. Adam Schefter says Commanders officials were en route to Detroit for a meeting with Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, and they got the word that Johnson was staying with the Lions per sources, while the abrupt pivot by Ben Johnson was considered surprising by several league sources. He was not considered a lock for the Commanders' job despite his strong reputation in the Commanders and a loyal coach. The Commanders' leadership team remains eager to meet with the respected Glenn, who is one of several candidates the team is expected to consider for its head coach vacancy. So we're going to get into more about Schefter in a little bit.
Is there news on AG?
I'm going to talk about motherfucking Adam Schefter.
Oh, shit.
I got something to say about that mother BlackBerry typing motherfucker, Adam Schefter.
Fuck it, say it now.
You want me to say it now? All right, Chris, put up the other one. Pull it up, Chris. Put that shit on the board, Chris. Adam Schefter. This guy, Adam Schefter. Also put up, Ben Johnson was not a head coaching lock that people thought he was. Asking price spooked some teams, per sources.
Wow.
So what was it, Shefty? Did his asking price spook some teams? Or were they on the way to Detroit to interview him again? Because that tweet coming out after Ben Johnson said, I'm staying in Detroit, looks like you're in the pocket. Looks like you're taking some money from somebody. I don't know if it's owners, I don't know if it's GMs, but that looks like a GM texting you saying, shit.
We didn't want him anyway.
Yeah. And he's ugly anyway.
That bitch got bad breath.
That's what it looks like. It looks like you're backtracking. It looks like you're selling ass for these owners, for these GMs. Because Ben Johnson said, nah, I got shit to do in Detroit. I got a job to finish in Detroit. And Adam Schefter gets his BlackBerry Twitter fingers out and starts saying, oh no, it was because he was asking for too much money. Or was it that they were coming to interview him again because they really wanted him and they wanted to do an in-person in Detroit interview with him? What was it, Shefty? Which one? Pick a side. Because it looks like you're pandering. It looks like you're pandering for ownership. It looks like you're covering the backs of these guys after Ben Johnson said, nah, I'm good. DC's trash anyways. I'm staying in Detroit. I got a job to finish. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
I get it. You know, like it's Detroit versus everybody type mentality. We got to talk our shit to Shefty in front of the network, though. Shout out. But at the same time, I understand this man has like keep his sources. Like he is well informed for a reason, right? You kind of have to like. You can't bite the hand that's feeding you. If they're like, "Yo, we need you to help out this one. We giving you this. We giving you that." You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, just don't call yourself a journalist.
Yeah,
that's what it is for me.
I don't think he is. I think
don't call yourself
more
a journalist.
Insider.
He's an insider.
Yeah. Which he is.
He's a lapdog. That's what he is.
That's fair.
He's a lapdog. He says what they want him to say.
Remember when he tweeted out the picture of JPP's fucking hand X-rays or whatever it was after he lost the fingers of the firework? That was some wild work by Shefty.
This whole thing is just trying to break up with somebody before they break up with you.
Absolutely.
Literally.
That's all it is.
Absolutely.
Literally. It's the owners we didn't want him anyways. He's not even that good. He's asking for too much money. All right, bud.
Right.
All right.
Man, I was listen. You guys, I've turned my back at some point during the season. Not turn my back, but I was ashamed of Brad Holmes at a certain point, a guy that I really believed in because I thought this was going to be the year because Ben Johnson's leaving to become a head coach, and we have him another year. You guys, if you've watched, like I think the last time we were at Dispo, I started talking a little bit crazy, started using that S word, Super Bowl. It's there, bro.
It is Super Bowl next year.
If they make like the right moves, if they make like a Jordan last run type of situation, like bro, it can be done. It can be done.
The expectations for next year for the Detroit Lions are Super Bowl.
I agree.
Nothing short of.
I don't care how crazy it sounds. I don't care how I may personally feel about like the quarterback and himself and his personal skill set. The expectation and goal is a Super Bowl. I'm putting that out right now. Don't try that. Oh, you were wrong. Shit like you guys this year. I told you 12-5 win a playoff game. Don't try that bullshit now. I'm telling you, expectation is a Super Bowl. Chris,
my question. I don't know if we want to say this for a whole nother segment and get like deeper into the Ben Johnson thing, but where my head went is last year. Okay, we know that Sheila put together a pretty hefty bag. We don't know the bag, but it was a hefty bag to keep him to stay. Yeah. This year, do you think there's any type of promises towards like drafting or anything? Because I do kind of think to an extent, like the first round going offense more than we thought might have been some sort of underlying agreement to keep Ben Johnson around. Do you think there's anything like that this time around?
There very well maybe. There was a tweet from Adam Schefter around like 3 o'clock today that he keeps
tweeting.
Twitter fingers.
No,
there was a report that came out that there was no raise or nothing like that. It was a decision made on Ben Johnson's own. That doesn't to say that something is going to happen down the line.
That doesn't mean there's
when he
not
officially came back. I know that we were saying, okay, this means we're going off its first round.
That doesn't mean there's not going to be a F-350 with Dooley's turbo diesel dropped off in that motherfucker's driveway. Like
BJ's spinning.
They're going to make sure Ben's taken care of. They're going to make sure Ben's taken care of, man. And shout out to Sheila Fordham. Shout out to Rod Wood. Shout out to Brad Holmes. Shout out to Chris Spielman for doing this. Not only one year in a row, but second year in a row.
Death row.
Making sure this guy is staying in Detroit. He is the best offensive coordinator in the NFL for a reason, and he's staying in Detroit for another year to run at Lombardi. Take a shot at Lombardi. And I ain't talking Rocky. I love this.
KG?
I mean, y'all said it all. My thing is, I think if we do go to the Super Bowl and maybe not win it, he probably goes. I think his decision to stay was influenced by the Lions losing this game. So it's a glimmer of hope that we've been hoping for, man. We didn't know what was going to happen. But just shout out to him just being loyal and boots to the ground, ready to go back at this thing, man. And I think they can do it. I think they can definitely get back to that same spot next year, especially if they load up on defense like I expect them to. Watch out, man. This team could be feared.
And that's something we got coming up today, too. We got the list of top 10 free agents according to Adam Spielberger, I believe it is, from PFF. We got his top 10 list at positions of need.
Hell of a name.
That's a hell of a name. Put the names in the chat of the positions you guys would like to hear. And, and to be honest, too, like the piece of it that I love, talking about the schmear campaign, is like that he did make the call while they're on the flight to Detroit, like in some form or fashion that could be perceived as unprofessional, or just like a slap in the face to billionaires, the guys that own the team.
Good.
And yes, exactly.
Eat
good.
the rich.
Let it be that. Fuck those guys. Yeah. I hope they're pissed. And I hope, and listen, all due respect to Ben Johnson, and I promise you we'll take care of him here if not the case. But I hope people are less likely to hire him now. Okay,
yes.
I want this guy in Detroit for as long as possible.
Forever.
In my opinion, it's Kyle Shanahan and him as the best play callers in the league. Sean McVay probably went up there too.
And I put the tweet out there earlier. A thing that kind of goes under the radar with Ben Johnson returning to Detroit is that Hank Fraley is also staying in Detroit because there were rumors that if Ben Johnson leaves, he's going to bring Hank Fraley to be his offensive coordinator. Hank Fraley has been a pivotal piece of the Detroit Lions coaching staff. He has coached the best offensive line in the NFL for a couple years now. So having him retained is also huge. I saw Decker posted out videos. We got a Frank Ragnow topic coming where he's contemplating things, and I'm sure having in place the two coaches you report directly to in Hank Fraley and Ben Johnson is a big relief off of those guys' backs.
Well, I listened to player interviews last night, and both Decker and Ragnow made comments about Hank Fraley and his future. Like, Ragnow joked, which we're talking about later today, because some of it wasn't so much joking. Some of it was quite serious about his future, just not even as a Detroit Lion, but just as a football player. Because as we know, the injuries he's been battling through like all season long. Like, I guess we're most reminiscent with the back on the injury report and the knee on the injury report. But let's not forget about the toe situation we're dealing with since last year. But we'll speak on that a little bit later too. But Hank Fraley returning alongside Ben Johnson, which I assume is the case. That's a big piece of it. Yeah. And that's a big motivational factor. I mean, these are guys, you talk about like Taylor Decker being here like the longest. Hank Fraley has been here right along with them. Frank Ragnow, don't forget, he used to play guard. They want him to play guard. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then they moved him to center. Same thing with Grant Glasgow, moving him around too. Hank Fraley's been a part of that. We talked about it last week, just who he is as a coach and how great of a coach he's been in this organization, because we have guys that literally played a defensive end, move over to as a right tackle, Matt Nelson. And Dan Skipper moved from guard to tackle, all that stuff. Like, Hank Fraley he's a huge piece, and he was rumored to be the offensive coordinator of Ben Johnson. That situation were to go down. That situation is not going down, so I'm assuming that Hank Fraley's staying, and I'm here to celebrate. I mean, I'm damn near ready to get drunk. I'm that happy about it, if I'm being honest with you guys.
It's a glimmer of good news, man.
It's the best thing that could happen to Lions fans in the next week.
A lot of people try and temper the things Dan Campbell was saying, but no, he meant them. This is a cohesive unit, and they see it being successful for a reason. Ben Johnson was a pivotal piece of that. Apologies if I interrupted you.
No, it's just that's the best thing that could happen to Lions fans in the next 2 weeks just happened. Yeah. Where Ben Johnson said, I ain't fucking leaving.
Right.
You love that. You love to see that.
I think you guys are missing the most important, the Hank Fraley stuff, all that stuff is cute, but let's keep it real. This motherfucker loves golf. Ben Johnson just can't leave him, baby. He loves golf.
Football soulmates.
Football soulmates.
Hey, it's worked to this point.
Some may say. Yeah, absolutely has. Chris, if you wanted to get some merch to celebrate the moment and head into the football season looking right, where would you do that at?
If you want to, take a little bit of that Ben Johnson bag and drop it somewhere, I'll tell you where to go. That's woodwardsports.com. Click the shop tab. They got hoodies, hats, tees, everything you could need, all available. The ultimate swag, amazing sports appeal. Go to woodwardsports.com and click the shop tab today.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
At Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 19th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal extended through January 19th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
RIP to the same old Lions. A big thanks to Brad, Sheila, and Dan for putting them to rest. And guess what else has found its grave? Same old rock, paper, scissors. Jack Labrador has revolutionized that entire game with 2 new symbols and a franchise-changing 3-point play. Discover the action at jacklabrador.gg now and find out why once you go Jack, you never go back.
What up, there? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on Sports.com. I'm Eazy at Spin More Rax. Yo,
hello.
Chris, JB Smooth. We got KG, not JB Smooth. I apologize. Looking at chat. Every time I look at chat, that's when I myself. Smash that like button, be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. Ben Johnson's back, baby.
Yes, sir.
He is back. Now, Chris, you asked an interesting question because last year he did get a raise, and last year we did grab Jahmyr Gibbs. And then we grabbed Sam Laporta. I feel like I think a Sam Laporta pick was coming at some point either way. Actually traded T.J. Hawkinson away. But I guess, and I'll start with you, KG. Do you think there's any thing that was promised in the exchange of him returning as our offensive coordinator, or you think it's just off the love or just not wanting to go to Seattle? Well, Seattle's a great place to go if it was on the table.
I don't think it's anything promised to him per se, but I'm sure Sheila will look out for him. And one thing I didn't realize is that he has 2 years left on his deal. So, I mean, he could. I mean, this guy is probably going to be a head coach. Let's just be real. If not next year, then maybe the year after that. But I think he was really determined to get this job done with the Lions. And it's kind of the same thing AG said. Like, he wanted to be the best Lions defensive coordinator ever. And I know it ain't got off to the best start. But, I feel like these guys are on a mission to accomplish something here with this Lions organization that's never been done. And then you think, if they do that, then that only helps them in the long run.
Yeah.
Do.
Yeah, but I agree with you, KG. They're here for a reason. They're here. They want to build this. They have unfinished business in Detroit. They talk about it all the time. That was the big thing at Hard Knocks. They both said I want to be the best coordinator in the history of the Detroit Lions, and it's showing that. Ben Johnson's turned down now multiple head coaching jobs because he wants to stay in Detroit, because he wants to make things happen, because he wants to chase the Super Bowl, because he believes in Dan Campbell. He believes in the Detroit Lions, and he believes in this system. So I think it's a great not only point to Dan Campbell as a leader, Dan Campbell as a leader of men, and how he can get these guys to just keep coming back when no other coach in the NFL could do it. Like, you see – people leave Shanahan every year.
Yeah, it's true.
You got your offensive coordinators leaving Shanahan every year. You got dudes leaving Sean McVay every year.
Yeah.
Like Shanahan, they're in the same situation that Chase Super Bowls the Lions are. Mike McDaniel, gone. That's what happens.
They're their own play callers, to be fair.
Yeah.
But still, branching off their lineage, and I think that, and I see my man Tanner Estrand still taking interviews with Tampa Bay Buccaneers for their offensive coordinator spot. I saw the same for the New England Patriots, but it's if he doesn't abstain, if he doesn't get those jobs, I mean, you're still, I guess, training him underneath that tutelage, underneath your lineage of your play calling, which again is not Kyle Shanahan, is not Sean McVay. This is Ben Johnson. This is his very own tree, rooted by his principles, and then someone mixed with Dan Campbell's too. I believe they believe in similar philosophies. I don't think he'd return here freely based on if that wasn't the case.
Right.
Hey man, it's a beautiful thing, and again, just once more to touch on the Hank Fraley stuff, because we're going to talk about Frank Ragnow and obviously Taylor Decker too, being here in such a long time. Those are pieces. I'm not saying you need to replace, but pieces you need to be prepared to replace, or at least in some
get
form
some
or fashion.
contingency plans for
Exactly right. So it's if we're going to bring in young guys to eventually take over those positions, I'm glad that Hank Fraley's here to be part of that. I'm glad that Ben Johnson's here to be part of that. Even if Tanner Estrand does stay, like I said, I thought Hank Fraley was going to become Ben's OC just because of the intricacies of being an offensive lineman in the Ben Johnson run scheme. I'm glad we had the two people who was a foundation of it be here to learn these new guys, teach these new guys. I say learn as a joke. Don't want to take that and run with it in the comment section. But I'm glad that he's here for that. It's a beautiful thing. And again, it's worth. If you guys want to pop out a shot of something, I'm down. Those. Did you ever find that?
Nope.
Skanks.
Yeah.
Damn. For real?
Yeah.
They got down on you.
Finesse me.
Hey, if somebody wants to
half a bottle of Donnie.
DoorDash a bottle of Don, take some. I'm down for it.
I'm down.
The occasion calls for it.
I'm good.
We could get him easily to take it. Don't worry.
I got to work out.
This guy's got bad demons.
I do. I do.
All you gotta do is break out the bottle. He's like, hell, all right, fuck it.
I got to work out after. I'm not trying to throw up on the treadmill.
Hey, who cares? We popping. You can sit here and cry.
I will.
I'll go fuck. No, it's just a beautiful thing for the Detroit Lions organization, and I think as much as we wanted to speak of sustained success, I guess what we'll speak about too is I think it's more tangible now. It's more realistic now.
It is. Yeah. It is. Because you've got that same recipe coming back.
Mm-hmm.
You've got that same consensus, that continuity in your coaching staff. The players see that too, so they're going to be even more dialed in. This is going to be the first time in Jared Goff's career that he has the same offensive coordinator and play caller and quarterbacks coach for 3 years in a row now.
Wow.
Yeah.
First time in his career. So that is just going to breed more confidence. That is going to breed more cohesion in the offense. And let's run that shit back. Frank, you can have my toes. Run it back.
That ass though.
I will give him my toes.
Yeah, you can have my toes.
Yes.
I mean, modern day technology, you'd be able to give him robot toes.
And
at least 3D print a foot for the man.
I got size 14s, so I don't know how big your feet are, but it's probably a good match. You can have my toes.
I did see speaking of offensive linemen and the offense and all that good stuff, Justin Rogers put out an article where I guess Graham Glasgow's already been told that he's like a pivotal piece they want to bring back for sure. So that's your brother.
Smart.
Yes.
Shout out to them.
Shout out my
That's
brother.
good news.
Always love to see one of my family members getting paid. He deserves it, and he is a pivotal piece because of what he can do if Frank, misses games or decides to call it quits. He can move over and play that center role very, very well.
Yeah. And is that fair, the expectation of Super Bowl and or just NFC Championship?
Yes,
like,
it is fair.
Is that fair? Okay.
Absolutely.
Because we see them do it with the same unit.
Just think if they come back with a better defense than what they had and
That's
keep
what
this
I'm
same
saying,
offense, maybe even get better, because he's going to add more intricacies to this offense. You better believe it. And if they add maybe another weapon or two, depending on if they re-sign Reynolds or DPJ, man, there is no telling what this Lions team could do. But that's absolutely the expectation. Why not?
And then listen to Dan Campbell speak about like just I guess having that chemistry. You guys down with keeping Josh Reynolds now too? I mean,
yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. Like it depends how much he's at. If you can get him for cheap, bring him home.
Do you guys think he's gonna bag elsewhere?
No, I don't think so. I think he could get more than he'd get with the Lions. Like you go somewhere.
Yeah.
If you want to get a $5+ million a year deal.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can get that somewhere.
To be fair, I mean, he's been elsewhere. He's been most productive here.
Yeah. It's true.
But I guess teams don't always look at it that way. But I can't really speak for other teams. I've had to see what the Lions have brought in previously before, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell them, where we would just grab a guy that was good at the Patriots and be like, yeah, well, he played here, so he must be work here too. And then we get him, and of course, it'd be fucking ass. Shout out to Trey Flowers.
Shout out Trey Flowers.
How about
Jamie Collins?
Yeah.
Man. Thank God that's over.
They literally drafted Jelani Tavai because they're like, oh, the Patriots wanted him. Let's go get him. Then he was ass.
He's good on the Patriots.
Yeah, I was about to say he's a better player away from us. So.
Well, even Kyle Van Noy. And I'm not. He was like an initial guy to us. Like we drafted him, but it's crazy. We had him with his teammate, by the way, too, Ziggy Ansah from BYU, thinking that's supposed to be the elite like pass rushing pairing, and just Kyle Van Noy was just unable to see the field for whatever reason.
Right, Ziggy was all right.
Yeah, Ziggy was straight. Man, I love Ziggy in his prime.
Just injury
I don't know if
problems.
His injuries, they kicked him out of the
league.
It was
definitely the injury.
He was
cool.
He
was a freak, man.
He took me $100 once. I used to be the valet manager down at Central Kitchen downtown. And he came in the spot one night, tipped me $100. He was a cool dude.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
I remember meeting him. I had season tickets back then. I think it was like 2013, 2014 season. I remember meeting Ziggy, and like, I just felt emasculated, bro.
Man, he's huge.
He's
bro.
a big human being.
Man.
I gave him a ball from my nephew to sign, and I was just in his hands. I was like, bro, that guy could fucking squish my skull.
Yeah.
Like a grape if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It was like, it was wild. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, Ziggy was a dog.
Sue, too. Well, I mean, Sue, I was like,
yeah.
Because you think, because he's heavyweight, you think a little bit, that's like all muscle.
Yeah.
That shit made no sense. I was like, what the, that was insane. No, I miss those guys. But as you said, a couple more defensive pieces, and we're talking about free agency here too. Hey, you might be talking. Hey, might be able to cash that shit. Talk that shit.
And if Aaron Glenn does decide to move on and gets a head coaching position, Mike Vrabel's still out there.
He is.
He is. I have this question though.
Plus, you get compensation, don't you?
Yes, you
Yeah,
do.
you do get compensation. Yeah, I have this question when it comes like that because obviously Mike Vrabel's a great coach. It's going back to like what Dan Campbell said, the cohesiveness, the chemistry. I even listened to like Ifeanyi Melifonwu last week. It was like, or last night, he was like, "Yeah, I mean, everything down mentally, I got like another scheme now. It's just like, perfecting the reps."
Yeah.
Where you bring like a Mike Vrabel, that's a totally different like defensive style. Was there any concern, I guess, shifting or changing to that?
No, that's what happens. That's what happens. That's what you got to do.
It's changing it up.
Yeah, and I mean, well,
And that's if it happens.
yeah, if it happens, that's
Yeah.
what you got to do. If Aaron Glenn decides to take a head coaching position, that's what you're gonna have to do.
Is Wink Martindale still out there? I know he left the Giants, but I don't know if he signed elsewhere yet.
And you still got John Fox as a defensive assistant.
Oh,
So
yeah,
that's fair
he is
too.
in the building.
That's fair too.
I'm sure he's very pivotal in the schemes.
I mean, obviously Vrabel's probably my number one guy. I mean, did you guys ever like fall through and think of a defensive coordinator replacement for AG?
Mike Vrabel.
It was always the hope was always Vrabel, but that almost kind of in a
Calvin
sense
Shepard. I don't know if he's ready for that yet.
Would you take Riverboat Ryan as a DC?
Riverboat Ron.
As a DC?
I wouldn't mind it. It was crazy.
Bring in Bill.
When Dan came, man, that'd be lit. But when Dan was saying this kind of thing, it's like it's easy to fall back in the average. That's immediately what I thought about was Riverboat Ron.
Yeah.
With the Carolina Panthers going to the Super Bowl, had Cam as MVP season, they just fell into mediocrity, and that's exactly like the example that I think Dan was pointing to. The Ravens there for a minute too after the Joe Flacco situation. They obviously, and they won it off a win, right? They're like the road team in every playoff game up into the Super Bowl, and obviously win the whole thing. But it's like after that is like what the fuck? Joe Flacco was on fire at postseason, and he just never was the same. It's like I see what he's saying. That's why I kind of like. I mean, I'm hoping AG returns. I know there's a lot of people who feel indifferent about him, but yeah, I think he's finally getting the pieces that he wanted. You saw that, not that he wanted, but finally they getting healthy. Talking about CJ, GJ, and Afonso Melifonwu, like. I think that's all we needed. Plus, like AG was saying, we're gonna add some pieces.
I think this is more likely because of Ben Johnson staying. Plus, I think you can now make that kind of promise to Aaron Glenn that you may have made to Ben Johnson last offseason about, hey, we got the draft capital. Remember, they have a full war chest of assets. Like, they didn't do anything at the deadline. They're in a great position to do basically anything they want, and so those kind of promises can happen, and obviously it makes sense. I mean, when you're looking at the offense for Ben Johnson, it's like, who would you promise him to get? Like, maybe a wide receiver. Like, offensive line is something that I'm sure, like, Brad Holmes has on his radar, but I don't see him making promises for a running back and a tight end and all that like we did last year. The offense doesn't need that many pieces. The defense does. I think you can make that kind of promise to Aaron Glenn that, hey, we'll get you a stud pass rusher or corner or DB in the free agent, and then we'll get another one in the first round of the draft, and then that gives you a lot more to work with and makes you more appealing next year. Yeah,
and Wilson, he says comments. He says Vrabel's not coming here. Period. Stop living in fantasy land. I usually think of myself as a realistic Lions fan. It's one of the reasons I thought Ben was leaving. I thought it'd be too good to be true for Ben Johnson to return to the Detroit Lions. Yeah, he did. Today I'm living in Fantasyland. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
hey, Bill Belichick might become our defensive coordinator. I'm living in Fantasyland today.
And I don't understand he's not going back to a coordinator position. It happens all the time. Yeah, happens. Dan Quinn did it.
Maybe
Arthur Smith did it this year.
Schwartz.
Like Jim Schwartz. Just because you were a head coach once doesn't mean you're a head coach forever. Dan Quinn went to a Super Bowl and he went back to being a DC. Like, shit happens, man.
Bada bing, bada boom, brought up the same point I said. I love Vrabel, but would you want to change the entire defense for a guy who could leave after 1 year for a head coaching job? That is a great point, I guess, in terms of changing the defense.
Yeah, if we have a chance at the Super Bowl, I would.
Yeah.
David Baxter, I wouldn't be mad at Shepard if he's ready. I'd be cool with Shep, too. I think Shep's a great coach. To be honest with you, actually, 40 Gumbo saying the same thing. Let me just read this comment. And Shep has done quite a bit in improving the linebackers area over the year. Yeah. Campbell has really developed the year under him. I agree that.
Shep is definitely a candidate for a DC position. I don't know if he's ready for that responsibility yet. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure Dan Campbell would vet him, but in the situation he would be in with guys around him, with a John Fox to oversee it, that would be a pretty good spot to kind of wean him into if you have to, because John Fox being over there to help him through it would definitely be something that could help an inexperienced guy, because he doesn't have many years as a coach, let alone a DC. So I love Shep, and I think he is definitely on the track to be a defensive coordinator in this league at some point, but I'm not sure if that's the route they would go, but if it is, I'm here for it, and we'll see. Hopefully AG comes back, though.
Well, don't forget when Bruce Irvin, we signed him for that brief period of time, that he was like, I remember I played with Shep like just 4 or 5 years ago. So it's like, he is new to coaching. But hey, if Dan Campbell made the decision, I'm all for it. Who am I to question anything these guys do? If it's coming fresh off a game, you might hear that because I'll have some emotional reactions to certain things, but I'm all in with the Detroit Lions franchise right now. They brought this franchise places I haven't seen in my entire life, so I have no choice other than to believe in the choices they're making. But when we get back from break, let's talk about those acquisitions possibly. Let's do that.
Tell us about Mark White.
Let me tell you about Mark White. Ben was probably in contact with Mark White. He at some point needed a new house, and Mark was going to save him $5,000 on those closing costs. He's staying now, so he don't need so. But he might get an upgrade. Might get a raise.
Bigger house.
Yeah, maybe he needs a bigger house. So he's going to call Mark White at 248-290-8242, or you can visit him at markwhitesells.com. But you can do the same. Save yourself up to $5,000 on your closing costs, whether you're buying or selling. Visit my guy Mark White at markwhitesells.com, or give him a call at 248-290-8242.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today and find the brand you want at lesstanford.com.
Welcome back to World Heavyweights. Hit that like button, 5-star review on our podcast platforms. I'm Eazy. That's been more Rax. We got Young Chris and KG.
Ooh, good question in the chat.
What's the question?
DNC ENT says, when is the Heavy Mock 1.0 dropping? We doing? Want to do it tomorrow?
We do it tomorrow?
I'm down.
I'm down. It's gonna be nasty now. Cause my Detroit Lions was an AFC Conference Championship, you know. So I've been on my draft research, my draft homework like usually. I'm just saying my team's been keeping me busy with other things, but I'll drop one tomorrow. You want to do one too, KG?
I'm not as versed in all of the college, but I mean we can give it a shot.
But yeah, hey, fuck it. Last year, at around like similar way where I kind of just dived my foot into like the draft prospect stuff, and I win
Antonio Maffei.
Yeah, Antonio Maffei. Yeah. And then he ended up being like a candidate for like Detroit Lions.
Yeah, they brought him in for an interview.
Yeah. That was fucking awesome. So, hey, you never know. Maybe we're just nice like that.
They listen to the heavies. Brad Holmes and Dick Campbell, 1,000% watch the heavies. It is confirmed.
And I think Jared Goff does. If he doesn't watch it, he's seen some clips.
Yeah, he knows.
I felt like there's some comments made yesterday almost directly towards us. Because at least the media question was asking him about the critics of saying that Ben Johnson had made him and like expectations without him. He had this to say, Chris, if you don't mind playing the tape of Jared Goff.
There are some critics out there who said, well, Jared's rise sort of tied in with Ben. And so, if you are working with a different coordinator next year, what is it that you learned from Ben that you can take forward? How much would you be looking forward to saying, like, I'm not just a product of the system?
Yeah, I was called that when I was in LA too, so I guess I'm just got great systems around me at all times. I'm just the luckiest guy in the world, I guess.
I'm fucking with this new JG, man. He's clapping at people.
Man.
I love that shit. What he's doing.
Detroit's rubbing off on him.
Well, yeah, for sure, bro. The grit's coming out of him. When he said to Wojo, he was like, never mind. When he said thank you, he said, never mind. That shit now. I like this, man. I like that. That's for sure. Take your shots, man. You earned it. And yeah, but like he knows that he's had a lot of luxury working under offensive coordinators and play callers such as Sean McVay and Ben Johnson. You look at guys like, I don't know, Zach Wilson. Like, you can put in a bad situation, you can be a very talented quarterback.
Yeah.
And shit doesn't go too well, but
Tua Tagovailoa
until he gets Mike McDaniel. Right. Yeah, even Jared Goff when he had Jeff Fisher until he got Sean McVay.
But he had Anthony Lynn.
Yeah, and he had Anthony Lynn, and then he got Ben Johnson. So it's definitely a symbiotic relationship. But I'm happy to see him he's comfortable now in Detroit, man. He's talking his shit.
Hey, what's KG say?
No, I
talk your shit.
Yeah. He didn't know he was a poor man's anything, man. He's been on this wave all year, man. But yeah, Detroit is definitely rubbing off on him, man. But I'm glad that he phases the critics out, man, because you're going to have haters regardless. And when you being real, a lot of quarterbacks are in Jared Goff's position. Let's be real. There's only 5 real absolutely elite quarterbacks in the league. The rest are kind of like a Jared Goff system dependent. But I think he's slightly above that. I think he's earned a lot of respect this year. They made the system for him, but he's taken a lot of leadership in running the system. So I'm looking forward to what another year with Ben Johnson is going to look like.
And he should phase out the haters. Like this guy, he's been a top-notch athlete his whole life. He's a multimillionaire. He's got a banging ass fiance. He just took a team to an NFC Super Bowl or an NFC Championship. I'm just a fat nerd who talks shit into a mic. Like, why would he care what I think? Like, so I like to see it. I like to see it. And I know he's happy that Ben Johnson is returning because, as I think it was Bob's Big Boy always said, the football soulmates, man. Yeah. So,
well, Bob's Big Boy also said he loves Chippy Goff. I love Chippy Goff too. I'll never forget we were losing that game in Chicago, the one where Jeff Okudah got the pick 6, and I think it was a late hit. I don't remember which one of their. It was like a linebacker or something like that. But I seen Goff got fired, and I've never seen that in golf ever. Yeah. And I'm a football head, so I've been watching golf and forever. And he was talking that shit fucking he was about to scrap or something like that. And then guess what? Detroit Lions ended up coming back and winning that game. I was like, okay, I like getting this guy fired up, and hey, I'm here for it. And to be honest with you, you are the luckiest motherfucker because Ben Johnson coming back again. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to take away from his competitiveness because it does take the competitive juices to want to be better, to want to learn that Ben Johnson offense, to want to execute it, to learn everything else that goes along with it. I think it was my guy Slice on Twitter, I want to say it was. Shout out to him, who posted JG calling the one play where Jimmy Gibbs was like 3rd and 13. And they ended up scampering around for like the first down where he had to jump out of bounds. That's one where he had to catch up to Penei Sewell, by the way. Shout out to Penei Sewell, was a fucking monster. But it was a JG protection call that switched to play. You know what I'm saying? He hit triangle L1 on Madden, or triangle L2, whatever it used to be on Madden, just flip the play around. Essentially what they did, and on a 3rd and 13 run play, ended up going for a first down. So
he's improved, man.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
He's improved a lot.
Absolutely.
He was audibling a lot in the NFC Championship game. You saw a lot of this. A lot of him making calls on the lines and that stuff that you have to be confident in your system and your players and your yourself to do. And you see Ben Johnson sends him out there with multiple plays. If this is what you get, switch to this. If this is what you get, switch to this. And for the majority of the season, Goff has been making the correct reads and the correct calls.
The other thing, too, is it's not just us saying it either. It's his former head coach, Sean McVay, heading into that playoff matchup. And they're like, how comfortable are you knowing that you coach this guy, Jared Goff, and like what he can and can't do? And he just pointed up, like I said, like, he's not the same guy.
It's a different Jared Goff.
I'd love to say I'd love to be comfortable, but I'm not. He's not the same guy. And he admitted at fault that like, I wasn't patient enough with him. And that may or may not be true. Obviously, I don't want to even go there. He made the decision he made, and then he cashed it in. But Jared Goff is a better player, and a lot of people point to me and be like, "Oh, you're wrong, this and that." Half the city in 2021 was not fans of Jared Goff.
I get it.
My friend Drake Bell, who's sitting in that chair from 11 to 1, has a viral video. Of essentially calling the man everything short of a BUS and one. After he threw the ball out of bounds on 4th down, but it was a transition period for him. He had to.
He was in his cocoon, and now he's a beautiful butterfly.
Yes.
This is his final form. This is fully, Super Saiyan God Goff. Like, he's out there, he's doing what he needs to do, man. He's making plays. He's confident. He's in a great system with great pieces around him, a fantastic offensive line, a great play caller, and he's happy. He's having fun, and he's playing very well. So it's the perfect situation for him, man. Again, can't stress it enough. Sexy ass fiance, that makes life better too. When you come home and it's Kristen Harper, that's a little better than coming home to whatever I'm coming home to. Like, I'm just saying.
All day, every day.
She is a very beautiful woman.
Yeah. And Jared Goff has become a very beautiful quarterback in that Honolulu Blue.
Look at you saying that.
Okay. Hey, it's been
Look at you, Eazy.
Hey.
And now we need him to prove that he's wrong. Now we need him to take that next step, to win the fucking Super Bowl. Jared Goff, I want to be here next year on BDE, get my shit tatted live on the show because you proved me wrong. Because you went out there and you won a Super Bowl for the Detroit Lions. And I think you can. I really do. And I expect the Lions to be in the Super Bowl next year. And if they're in the Super Bowl, they're going to fucking win it.
And part of that is the continuity, the chemistry, and everything else that Dan Campbell had to say about having sustained success and what he's learned underneath guys like Sean Payton and Bill Parcells, which we would talk about, but not before you tell us about that defense.
That defense, the one defense you truly need is Guardian Alarm, because Guardian Alarm offers you professional technicians that take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and know a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800
Stay Out.
That's 1-800
Stay Out,
and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Head to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Guys, Dispo Dispensary is giving away 2 tickets, 2 flights, accommodations, and hotel stays for the big game. You don't know which one I'm talking about? It's the big one over in Vegas.
Stop Bears.
Join. That's at dispo.michigan. Comment whoever you want to take on the post. Add it to your story for an extra chance to win. They're going to away 2 free tickets, flights, hotels, and accommodations at Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug. What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on Sports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my guy Spimo Rax.
What up, though?
Chris, KG. We just freaking out about the golf exercises right now?
Yeah.
Golf exercises, I should say.
There's a lot of weird stuff to get good at golf.
Yesterday, our fearless leader, Dan Campbell, took the podium. And he was asked, what's it take to sustain success in the National Football League? Because he's been a part of those situations. Once with Bill Parcells as a player, and I don't think he coached him, but just as a player. And then once again under Sean Payton. And he had this to say, if you don't mind playing the video, Chris.
The experiences of playing for them, coaching under them, that you can apply to learning how to sustain your own success.
Yeah, consistency. Got to stay consistent, which we've done for 3 years now. You know, stay true to what you believe in. When it comes time to start over, you start over, and it's all about what I said, the hard work, the detail. We got to be physical. You know, that's part of who we are. But if you start to deviate off of what you've been, you know, and I think the other thing you got to be careful you fall in a trap with. The more success you have with these players, the more attached you get, and you got to be careful you don't get blinded. And that's hard. That's hard to do. You know, you got to see it for what it is, step back, and make sure that the player is producing and is capable of producing at a high level, and take your emotions out of it.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Dan Campbell's the man, dude.
He is the man.
I would follow him in the pits of despair.
Honestly, yeah. I probably would.
If he jumped off a bridge, I would too.
Yeah. I probably would.
Yeah. Yeah, if he banged my sister. No, whoa. No, but it's the guy, that's what he does, man. He is a master motivator. He is a leader of men. He is a dude that will get you. He's the guy that would rally you to go out on a random night. He's the guy that will get you off your ass and make you go change your life. He'll wake you up at 7 a.m. to go hit the gym after a night out, and you'll be like, you know what, Dan, you're fucking right. Who's going to carry the boats? Like, I love Dan Campbell, man. And he is right, though. You see how he's balancing things now, because he's like, yeah, I love all these guys. That's his big thing, is how much he cares about his players, how much they mean to him. He says, you have success with all these guys, you start to get a little too attached, and that can be a bad thing. And he's obviously talking about the free agency. When you see the list of free agents the Detroit Lions have, there's going to be a lot of difficult decisions they have to make as a coaching staff, because they want to improve. They will need to get better. They want to increase where they were at last year, so bringing all the same guys in might not do that. And I just think that he is growing as a head coach. He's always been a great leader of men and a great motivator, but now he's growing as a decision maker, as a guy who's not only leading this team, but leading this franchise, leading them into the promised land, looking forward. Now the expectations are building. It's not a cute story anymore for Dan Campbell. It's not look at the underdog, rah, bite your kneecap guys anymore for Dan Campbell. Now you have the expectations to travel deep into the NFC playoffs. Now you have the expectations to be a top 3 seed in the NFC. Now you have the expectations to repeat as the champions of the NFC North. So all that cute shit is gone now. You have realistic expectations for realistic success in one of the toughest sports leagues in the world.
Talk about the consistency, talk about being too attached, and that's stuff that I love to hear. I love to hear. I think it's even like coming into the NFC Conference Championship game where it's like you have to remind yourself of the things you believe and you have to stay true to them. You can't like stray away from them. And these are things going back to what you learned from Sean Payton and Bill Parcells. And I think that's key because you do look at a guy who is emotional. You do remember him crying at the podium at the Vikings loss. I do remember him crying during the interview for the Monday Night Football about the guys that were there in 2021. But it's nice to know that he is at the foundational root of it all. He's still going to evaluate you as a player. There's still expectations that you need to meet. There's still like the consistency of what it takes to be great that he expects out of his players. And I love that he's holds himself true to that and reminds himself of that because he is an emotional guy. And there's like proven evidence of it too. Because I remember not like it was cool when Brad Holmes cried about talking about Penei Sewell in that first draft class when he did the interview with Danny Rodgers. It's cool that like he's attached to the franchise. These players like that. But at the end of the day, there's business decisions that need to be made. And it's nice to know they're able to make them because we've lived through it with the Jamal Williams situation. I mean, he was perceived as a leader of this team emotionally throughout the bad all the way up to the good and helping like get us to be good and keep our heads up in those situations. I remember being at practice where like he's finishing out runs after getting tackled or just wrapped up how they do in training camp, but he's still running all the way down the end zone to get the extra rep and that you're setting like the standard, right? But they let loose. At the end of the day, there's business. There's demands that need to be met if you want to become champion. So it's nice to know that he carries those key principles like to this day, and it's nice to know we've witnessed them help us become from like the lowly Detroit Lions, and I've never seen win a playoff game in my entire lifetime to just battling just this past Sunday for a fucking Super Bowl berth. Like it's just we see these things, and here I'm like I don't know. It's just real. None of it's cute. None of it's Cinderella. It's the real deal, and it's continue to be this way because the original conversation stemmed from sustained success, and I think we're going to witness that as Detroit Lions fans with Dan Campbell in charge.
And these were the expectations he put on himself. These were the expectations when he first got here. He put on his coaching staff, his players, his team. He knows what he wants to build to. He knows what they were and what he built them into, which is a threat, which is a contender, which is a Super Bowl contender. And he has been in those situations before. He's seen head coaches who that's all they know. When you look at Sean Payton, when you look at Bill Parcells, he's been under these coaches who all they know is contending for Super Bowls. All they know is putting out the best product available to try to make deep runs in the playoffs. And that rubs off. He knows how to handle himself. He's not going to shit the bed in here. These are the waters he was born swimming in. He knows what he's doing. He knows what it means to be there consistently. And he is going to exude that confidence, exude that mentality into his players and the rest of his coaching staff.
I just pictured the Nirvana cover.
The baby, born swimming the water, born swimming.
Maybe that's the thumbnail I'll put Dan Campbell's face on. KG, you're the first one to bring up the consistency statement earlier today, just talking about the return of Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you hearing Dan Campbell have to say about sustained success?
And just being real, like Dan Campbell, not saying he's not a good coach now, but the mark of a good coach is being able to retool and still keep that same level of success. You see it with all the top coaches in the league today. And it does suck, but it's good to know that he gives a damn. That's one thing that I've always appreciated about Dan Campbell. He lets you know where he's at with you. He shoots you straight, essentially. And that's one of his greatest qualities, man. But you have to be able to retool and be able to let certain players go and make certain decisions, and he's given us a preview of that. He had to let go of his friend Anthony Lynn, man. He had to let go of Aubrey Pleasant. Like, we've seen examples that he's capable of making these type of decisions, man. So I hope that going forward he'll continue on that path of making the right decisions, but he's real at the end of the day. He's genuine, and how can you not get behind a person like that, and how can you not want to play for a guy like that?
I know a lot of people speak about the rah-rah coaches, which he was perceived to be in the beginning of, which he's a little bit like executive coach, but I know that message could grow dry if you're not seeing results from it. But they are in the situation with Dan Campbell. Every single year this team has gotten better. And to the point, year 3, we're literally battling for a Super Bowl. It's insane to see. But talking about that consistency, it's a beautiful thing to have Ben Johnson back and be part of that. Because when you're sitting, you're down in the dumps, so there's doubt in whatever situation you may be in the game. You know that you rode the battle before once with this guy, Ben Johnson, making the calls, and at the end of the day, you end up victorious. You can go back to Chicago Bears game, whatever comeback games you want to look at. That was part of it. So the consistency part of it, having Ben Johnson return, that's huge, man. It's monumental to a point where it's I don't even know words to discuss. But there's so many more intricacies when it comes breaking the game down in terms of X and O's that I couldn't even bring to you. But that's That's what he is.
Huge, not in the sense of like gained weight or nothing, but
Colossal. I think you're looking for Ben.
Yeah, dude. I'm just. It's so awesome to see this happening. To see like how many times have we had a guy at that podium with that Detroit Lions logo behind him, telling us this shit and just selling us snake oil, just blowing smoke up our ass.
Yep.
Or even just like, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Even just like making it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And we got bad after.
Yeah.
We made the playoffs with Jim Schwartz. Didn't get replicated.
No.
We made the playoffs with Jim Caldwell. Didn't get replicated. It was just, you were there, and then it was a steep like downhill trot of it.
Yeah.
And those were guys that were part of like I guess winning organizations at one point. I know Jim Schwartz was with I think it was the Titans when they were like winning games. I don't think they won a Super Bowl or anything like that. I know he did with the Philadelphia Eagles. Jim Caldwell did that with the Ravens, but the Ravens was an example of that team. We talked about if you don't come back next year with the same hunger and mentality and the consistency of everything else, you can just become medium. Well, Jim Caldwell was part of that with the Baltimore Ravens. After they won the Super Bowl, they became regular.
Yeah.
Regular. Dan Campbell been sustained success everywhere he's been.
This partnership of Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes is sustaining something for a long time.
Yes.
You see what Brad Holmes is doing, bro. He's grabbing all pros out of every fucking draft. Every single draft he's had, he's getting an all pro. You look at what he's doing going forward, building this team. That's how good teams stay good. You look at the Chiefs. The Chiefs lost. They lost Tyreek Hill. They lost Frank Clark. They lost Tyrann Mathieu. They lose Orlando Brown. They're still in the fucking Super Bowl. And yeah, Patrick Mahomes is a big part of it, but it's also that defense that was built through the draft, that Trent McDuffie, the Nick Bolton, the George Karlaftis, these guys they're grabbing that are coming in and having an instant impact to keep them at that level. Because even Patrick Mahomes can't do it by himself. We saw when he got there and he didn't have an offensive line, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ripped his head off. So having a guy like Brad Holmes in place that will continue to pump out good talent for Dan Campbell to mold, shape, and point in the right direction is a combination for success for a long time.
Yeah. And the key is they're in lockstep, though.
Yes.
When have you seen a coach-GM relationship like this strong? It seems like they're in agreement on everything.
Yeah.
And they continue to hit the nail on the head. They find players, and it works, man. And you can't ask for a better relationship like that.
Yeah.
Facts.
They're willing to compromise because they have belief in one another. Like, listen to that, what do they call it every year they come out with it? It's a beautiful piece by the Detroit Lions organization. They bring it out. Behind the Den or something like that.
Yeah,
inside the den. There you go. Well, I remember when they talked.
Hey yo.
When they were talking about that the draft process of like last year, Brad had made it seem like Jack Campbell was Dan's guy, as Spinney called out before the draft process even went down. But had that faith in each other. Where it's like, okay, Dan, like this is your guy, this is the guy you want. Fuck it, I'm gonna get you him, and it's the ball's in your court at that point. You know what I'm saying? Coach him up and make him everything you believe him to be at that point. And like you said, they work lock and step with that, and I love that. I mean, drafting a running back in the first round these days is not a popular move. It's not a brilliant move to be made. But then once you have that faith in Brad Holmes to do so, and Ben Johnson to finish the rest of it out, now you look like a fucking genius.
Yeah,
it's the same way. I look back. This is a kind of random thought of it, but like one of my other exceptions is like YouTubers. Like it blows my mind. People start in their fucking basement and become like multi-millionaires.
Yeah.
When Mr. Beast talks about his journey, it's like, I was
crazy.
People called me crazy. People said I was obsessed with YouTube. I was like the weirdo kid, and now I'm a genius because of it. It's like, yeah, that's how it works. Sometimes.
All geniuses look crazy in someone's eyes.
I'm used to. You don't know your time while you're right. Hey, I don't mean wrong.
Yeah.
77% of the time. I ain't gonna say 100% of the time. 77% of the time. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair. Let me tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports. Woodward and Main Street. The Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supplies, hands down, Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers with one major difference. Family and locally owned and operated for 30 plus years. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day local curbside and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply, give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
What up, though? Welcome back to the World That Waits live on WorldSports.com. I'm Eazy, Spin More Racks.
What up, though?
Chris, KG. I wanted to get into it earlier because it's an exciting conversation to have. NFL offseason, actually, NFL and NBA have the best off seasons in my opinion.
Yeah.
When it comes to like free agency, like who's going where, what's going where. Probably NBA number one, if I'm being honest. NFL close second.
I don't know. A lot of NBA stuff happens in season now. A lot of it's not even in the
trade
off-season.
deadline is. Yeah.
The trade deadline's the new off season for the NBA.
I guess I'll never forget. Like I'm away. I think it was Partridge. That's the outdoor one, right? When KD went to the Warriors, and I was like,
that shit, dude, that shit pissed me off so much.
I was like, what the fuck just happened?
I think my favorite off-season moment was
LeBron, the Heat.
No, Prince Fielder. When we flipped Prince Fielder for Ian Kinsler, I remember I was in my boy's basement. We were fried, and it just came on the little.
Yeah, how high am I?
Yeah, it came on the bottom roll of the ESPN, the little bottom bar, and it was like breaking Tigers trade Prince Fielder. I was like, no way, they got it done. They got rid of that contract, and I was like, for Ian Kinsler. I was like, no fucking way, they got Ian Kinsler out of it too. What the fuck?
That shit was crazy.
That shit was awesome.
Man, Dave Dombrowski, RIP.
Shout out.
It's one of my favorite GMs. I'm a GM nerd. You couldn't tell.
Loose asshole, great name, says Spenny is big boy all grown up after a rough childhood. It's facts. I'm big man.
Well, Detroit Lions lost the Sunday NFC Conference Championship. Some were still mourning, but it's time to have some fun with it because now we get the shot for agency. Now I want to ask you guys, what position? What's the number one need for the Detroit Lions position wise?
I put a little game in there.
Little game?
Yeah.
Okay, what's up?
Because I think we all know there's two positions of need for the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
The biggest two positions of need are cornerback and edge rusher. I think we can agree on that. Or defensive line, edge rusher. Somebody to get to go quarterback.
Yeah.
And so I put a game.
I'm not ready for that game. I'm playing.
A would you rather?
Yeah.
And I have a pretty strong opinion on this. And so I can go first. But it's would you rather sign a defensive lineman in free agency and draft a young cornerback, or draft a defensive lineman and sign a cornerback in free agency? And I have a pretty ironclad reason of what I want to do. And for me, it is sign a defensive lineman and draft a cornerback. Because I look at the draft history of a Brad Holmes when it comes to the secondary players that he's drafted compared to the defensive linemen he's drafted at his time in Detroit, and even guys he wanted. When you look at, he really wanted Devon Witherspoon. All the reports were he was going to draft Devon Witherspoon if he was there. Motherfucker's a stud. You see him drafted Kirby Joseph. You see him drafted Ify Melifonwu. These guys, Brian Branch. All of these secondary players that he's drafted are very damn good in the NFL. And you flip the script and you look at the defensive linemen he's drafted, not so much edge rushers, because obviously Hutch is a stud, but that was kind of a gimme.
Yeah.
Houston looks like a stud. But you look at the interior defensive lineman that he's drafted.
Hey, your boy Aleem's coming along
Aleem is very good, but Levi, not so much.
Injury, but yeah.
Broderick Martin, we don't know yet.
Yeah. He was drafted as a project.
He was drafted as a project. But I think if you look at a guy like Matabuki from Baltimore that you can get for cheaper than it would be to Chris Jones, who had, 13 and a half sacks last year.
Might have been insane.
You put him in between an Aleem McNeil and an Aiden Hutchinson, and then you use Brad Holmes' very good track record at drafting secondary players to go out there and grab the best corner in the draft or who he thinks is the best corner in the draft. I would prefer that aspect, but if he goes out and gets L'Jarius Sneed, I'm not going to fucking complain about it.
Yeah, of course.
But I just think that's if you're making me pick between the two, I would rather sign the defensive lineman, a veteran guy, a guy who has a track record and is good in the NFL, and then let Brad Holmes do what he does best and draft a playmaker in the secondary.
I like the case built around that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I have an answer though. Like, I guess where do you want the guaranteed piece? You know what I'm saying? Like who do you want to be the guaranteed good guy? You want to be the defensive lineman, or you want to be the cornerback?
Mm-hmm.
Because in this market, I mean,
also cornerbacks. Like signing a cornerback in free agency is hit or miss too.
Yeah,
you never
that's
know.
Fair.
Those guys, the shelf life.
No, that's fair.
And the peaks and valleys of a cornerback in the NFL is a lot steeper than the peaks and valleys of a defensive lineman.
Yeah.
That's where mine was at. That's where I was with Spencer for that reason too. On top of everything he said, was that just those cornerbacks, man. Like it could change really fast. And I know that we've talked about how cornerback is a very tough position to adjust to in the NFL. Mm-hmm. But in the last couple of drafts, we've seen very good cornerbacks be impactful right away on their rookie contract.
Brand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying, like, I feel like this is no brainer. Get the pressure. Get the guy that pressures the quarterback, and then the cornerback. I think Brad Holmes has shown. And another thing too is that in the draft, it's usually a higher cost to go get the top defensive end than it is to get the top corner. I mean, they're both valuable. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, just looking at the history of the drafts, I mean, usually it's like the edge rushers are first, and you can get a damn good cornerback, maybe like the second or third best, who might end up being the best at pick 18, pick 25. Not too far from the range you're going to be drafting.
Where you at, KG?
Maybe I'm scarred, and like Spinny, you got great points, bro. And like honestly, I would probably go with your line of thinking, depending on how deep the corner market is. I know there's two premier names out there. But mostly I want an experienced corner because, like I said, I'm a little scarred. I think back to like Jeff Okudah and how hard it was for a guy like Jeff Okudah to turn the corner. I know that wasn't Dan's regime, but I really feel like you can, if you do hit on a lineman and you draft one, then you have them under the rookie deal. Yeah. You have them for 5 years guaranteed at that point, and you're paying them pennies, essentially. So I would lean more toward that. I think we just need more experience in the backfield. He has done great drafting secondary players so far, with Kirby and Brian Branch and people of that nature. But I like I said, I really would like to have more experience in that backfield this coming season and take your chances on drafting a defensive lineman. I feel like if they keep chipping away at it, they will eventually hit. Hutch did fall in his lap, but we've seen some progress from Josh Paschal. Yeah. Even Levi, I mean, he kind of showed something toward the end of the year. I know it hasn't been great with him. And who's the know about Broderick Martin? But I feel like, I would lean more towards that.
Okay. Can't argue with that. You're wrong. No.
You're stupid. And I hate your hair. I really don't know, man. I think it's a win-win situation either way, right? But yeah, I kind of want to lean towards the experience just because of like the window that we're in right now.
Yeah.
I almost don't want to rely on a rookie DB to help, I guess, complete that. I just don't know where my confidence is in that happening. Although there are great points of guys have come out, but there have also been like top of the draft guys. Derek Stingley, Sauce Gardner. I mean, the list goes on and on. Just names I can't think of at the top of my head right now. But Witherspoon,
Brian Branch.
I mean, he's the second round. Christian Gonzalez. Yeah. I think I'd rather sign the veteran DB and then go lineman in the draft. But
it would be cheaper too. That is the cheaper route for sure. A defensive back costs way less than an edge rusher or a defensive tackle.
Yeah.
And who's to say Brad won't move up to get a premier edge rusher in the draft?
We know he's not afraid to do so. If he sees a guy that he likes, he will move up and get him.
Yeah.
And he has extra ammo this year too.
He does.
I did send his picks in Slack.
I got that right here.
What? Extra second, right? Or
extra third. I think it's extra third.
We got it over it's here. From Hawk, right?
So we got we got our first, our second, our third, and Minnesota's third, and then 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Damn, 20 spaces between those 2 third-round picks, huh?
Yeah.
That is pretty nice.
Eat shit, Vikings.
That is pretty nice.
If AG leaves, you get another one too.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another third-round pick.
Yeah. Well, how about let's do this then?
Do you want AJ to leave now?
No. I mean, I don't want him to leave, but I'm just.
Yeah.
But if you do, you know, it's whatever.
Is Tanner Strand like Somalian or like is he from like a Snya, the stands, like one of those spicy ones?
Brad's like, hey, he's Cherokee.
Hey, he's Bosnian. He's Bosnian. It counts.
Let's do this actually real quick. Chris, in the chat, I also sent, according to Brad Spielberger, the top 10 free agents at the cornerback position and the top free agents at the. We want interior defensive line or edge? I guess that's the other question.
I think it.
I want both, but I would go edge first.
Edge first?
Edge first.
I don't know.
Why don't you just start with the
I
CBs?
think. I also looked at the free agents at the edge position, and like somebody you can get on a 1 year like chase a ring deal, like a Daniil Hunter or a Jadeveon Clowney or somebody like that.
Yeah.
That's maybe not what they used to be. Or Zadarius Smith, like we talked about, you can sign for a 1 year, $10 million, $12 million deal with incentives to put
and then spend big money on the middle.
Draft the middle. Draft
Draft
a young
the
guy in the middle or sign the cornerback or either way.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Because
let's see the list of edge guys in first, Chris.
Which one? Interior?
Edge, yeah, the edge defenders. It should. I believe it says edge.
Josh Allen.
It says ILL and IDL.
It only sent 2.
Yeah, and then cornerback. Oh, yep, you do have edge. There you go.
Motherfucker.
Is Josh Allen still available? I thought he was off the
It
table.
was on its own.
Josh Allen.
So Josh
Brian
Allen.
Burns.
Josh Allen would be so nice.
The Jags have already come
Oh
out
my
and
God.
said that he's going to come back one way or another, whether it's through franchise tag.
Yeah,
whatever, so.
I ain't think he was available.
Yeah.
Josh Uche would be.
Brian Burns. I'm assuming the same thing. The franchise tag. I mean,
Hey,
they
Daniil
got
Hunter
Brad.
had a damn good year this last year,
He's a
though.
dog, bro.
14 sacks, I think.
Yeah.
He's up there in age.
That's what I'm saying,
Let
bro.
me see how old he is actually.
A
Let me
Daniil
see.
Hunter, a Jadeveon Clowney, a Zadarius Smith,
Yeah.
a Leonard Floyd. I think all those guys would take a 1-2 year deal with incentive-ridden deal to chase a Super Bowl.
You know what name caught my eye?
Especially here.
Put it up one more time. The name that caught my eye.
Josh Uche.
No, it's one that I didn't even know existed on the face of planet Earth until today. To be honest with you, Bryce Huff.
Yeah.
He was essentially the Jets' James Houston, whereas the undrafted free agent they signed and ended up just balling out. And now here he is as number 4 on the top 10 free agency edge list. I feel like another guy, which we've seen Brad do now too, guys from a first-round picks that just didn't work elsewhere, like kind of fringe guys like on those prove-it deals, because we're built on that competition, like on that prove yourself. I was kind of, and I didn't deep dive into it, but I enough to where I'm like, holy shit, that guy is like, his burst off the line was kind of crazy. I'm talking about Bryce Huff, that is.
Yeah.
That was one I was looking at. Now I get that no one's else gonna like jump in that right away because like I didn't know he existed until today. But just a little bit of homework I did do. I was like, that guy actually.
Brendan Dillinger
pretty
says
nice.
Daniil Hunter is a girl's name. Bet you won't say that to that motherfucker's
Right.
face though.
Never
Like,
say
look at
shit.
that is an intimidating man. Like,
And I think it's pronounced Daniil, isn't it?
it's Daniil, I think.
It's Daniil.
It's Daniil.
It's Daniil?
Yeah.
For Daniil, I heard Daniil.
And I remember, I think John Gruden said if he could have the body of any person, it would be Daniil Hunter.
Yeah.
Because
you jacked.
He is Jack Diesel, dude.
Yeah. So Bryce Huff this year, which I guess say what you want. Matabuke kind of had like a breakout year this year too. Wasn't doing much before then, but first year only had 2 sacks. 2021 had 2 sacks. 2022 had 3.5, and then he cashed in 10 this year.
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk about making it back because you got to go to break. What did I tell you guys about Lady Jane's?
Let me tell you guys about Lady Jane's. You can come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expenses spared for you and for your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
What up, Woodward Sports? Dispo Dispensary is bringing the ultimate experience for the big game in Vegas, and they want you there. You can win 2 tickets to the big game, plus the flight, hotel, and accommodations by following these simple steps. First, follow Dispo.Michigan, @ShowMedicated, and @ShowMedicatedCBD on Instagram. Like Dispo's pinned post, comment and tag someone you love to bring. Plus, if you repost on your story, you get an extra entry. It's that easy. Join the Dispo family for a chance to score in Vegas. The big game awaits. Follow, like, tag, and repost now.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Welcome back to World Heavyweight. Smash that like button. Smash that like button. Smash that like button. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Share the stream. I'm Eazy. That's More Rax. Young Chris, KG. Just kind of looking at Detroit Lions free agency options. And obviously needs for us are, I think we need another piece in defensive line.
Yep.
But it's interior or edge. And then obviously, I think corner. I think honestly, corner probably should be #1. Like if you had power rank positions of need, is corner
Corner's #1, yeah. I think so. You need a lockdown corner.
Did we sign James to 2 years or 1 year?
Who?
James Houston.
He's a restricted rights free agent this year, so they just got to offer him a contract, and he can't go anywhere else.
So I was doing the homework on it. Daniil, whatever the fuck you want to say it. He's only 29 years old.
Yeah.
Still a dog.
Still a dog.
That might be the one. The Bryce one might be a good, like, you don't have to invest too much into it.
I would shit some bread on Daniil Hunter.
Yeah.
To put him opposite, because he is not just edge rusher either. Like, he plays the run game very well.
Yeah.
He's a guy you could put as a third down edge, and then think of the fucking, like, we used to talk about that NASCAR package all the time. But
yeah.
Like, if you had a legitimate guy like Daniil Hunter out there as well, you could move Hutch inside, or just put Houston next to Hutch, and then have Hutch and Pascal and Daniil Hunter and Houston. Like, that shit could get dangerous if you brought in a piece like that.
With the signing of Bruce Irving, do you think there's like a want for a speed guy?
Yeah,
like James and like Bruce. Like, do you view Daniil as that? Like, is he more like a Hutch guy?
No, I think he's more of a Hutch guy. He is more of a consistent threat on the outside. He's not boxed into one. He is a very complete edge rusher, and I think it would be just as fine. I think the yin and the yang with it's funny because it's black guy and white guy. When you look at James Houston and Aiden Hutchinson, of how Hutch is more of a power, aggressive guy, and Houston is a finesse, speed rusher. Definitely plays a role and it helps, but you could still have that with James Houston while adding Daniil Hunter. You could just bring Houston in on a rush down, and like I said, bump Hutch inside and have them stunt together or something like so. I think I think you can definitely add Daniil Hunter, and you're not worried about that as much.
Chip God says Brian Burns, I think, a speed guy. I don't think Brian Burns is going to hit the market.
Brian Burns is he's going to get a fat deal.
They made no reason for them to hold on to him at the deadline if they were going to let him walk.
Yeah.
So I think
they should have traded him for sure. Yeah. They should have traded him and Derek Brown. Like,
I got to do homework on this Grenard guy too. How you want to put Jonathan Grenard? I don't even know who even is that.
No.
Are you?
No, I'm not.
Sorry,
familiar.
sir. I'm not familiar.
I was not familiar with your game.
All right. Well, that's what it is at the edge. And maybe this answers our question. We got to go like outside or inside, because we also have the top 10 defensive. We have something else to say, Chris, before we move on?
I was just going to say that when it comes up, if you have to make any decisions, are you looking at some of these guys as like Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell guys? Like, I mean, we talked about that at the draft. Like,
I think Daniil Hunter is a Dan Campbell guy for sure.
Absolutely.
I think. I mean, obviously, there's a prior relationship with CJ, so maybe there's a little bit of like. You have a prior relationship, you know what he's about. Although, he got things that point to him not being one of their guys. But I think Daniil is,
Every interview I've seen from him, any post game sound, he's always about the team. He's always about winning, wanting to win, and stuff like that. So
that's a great point though to bring up though.
Yeah,
because a lot of these guys, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know much of them off the field.
The two guys on there that wouldn't be, if I were to look at them, would be Brian Burns and Chase Young.
Yeah, Chase Young definitely not.
Maybe even Jadeveon Clowney.
Jadeveon Clowney probably not either. And by the way, too, like Jadeveon Clowney, I grabbed this from a breakdown video, and they're kind of like showing his plays. He's a lot more like straight line rusher than like a speed guy these days. And that's what like Mike McDaniel did differently with them. And obviously he had Matabuke next to him, and you know what I'm saying, so on. Like,
they had a lot of great players.
It's a fucking stacked defense. It's like I don't know if I expect Jadeveon Clowney, as good as he was this year, to be what he was with the Baltimore Ravens.
Right. I agree.
I think it's just important to look at because, I mean, that was the whole press conference, right? Dan Campbell had was just the importance of continuity of guys fitting in this culture, this specific culture that they're building. So I think not only when it comes to draft, if free agency, I think it's very important to look at those kind of players too. But who did you want?
Let's do the interior.
Yeah, interior defensive lineman.
All right, let's see here. Here we go.
Here we go.
This is
Chris Jones,
man. This list,
there's some names. Leonard Williams.
This list is nice.
Yeah, DJ Reader,
This
Grover
list is
Stewart.
nice. Sheldon Rankins, DJ Reader, Leonard Williams, Christian Wilkins, Matabuki,
Tierra Tart. That's a Dan Campbell guy for sure.
Tierra Tart,
Brianna Tart,
Fletcher Cox. Oh man.
Now,
Daquan
Patrick Mahomes
Jones.
restructured his deal at some point during the season, right?
I don't know.
You think it's possibly Chris Jones returns to KC?
I don't
it's
think
just,
so.
Nah.
I don't think so.
After that fiasco earlier in the year, I don't think so.
And then
Especially if he wins the Super Bowl, he just got first team All Pro. He's gonna want a max deal.
And you think he's gonna want to be like fat and happy? Or you think he's still gonna be like hungry?
I mean, you're gonna be a little fat and happy when you win the third Super Bowl and make first team All Pro again. He's gonna get. They're not gonna get Chris Jones. He's gonna get so much money.
Yeah.
So just crossing him off?
I would cross him off
because he's
for sure.
most expensive. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The video I got this from, they're talking about how the Texans have a lot of money because all the draft picks they made.
That'd be nasty.
To add him next to
Will Anderson.
That'd be nasty.
And D'Amico Ryans too. They got Stingley. No, keep that up. We're still looking at it. I'm also looking at it.
Yeah, put our cameras up. Put our cameras up.
I would love Leonard Williams. I don't know about y'all.
I've always loved
Leonard Williams.
Leonard
would
Williams
fit
is
great
a
here.
dog. That's a Dan Campbell guy too.
Yeah.
He is a dog.
Yeah.
He is a dog. DJ Reader is a dog too. So is Sheldon Rankins.
To be honest, after seeing both lists, I'm kind of leaning interior just because
I'm
the names
leaning
on
interior
it.
too. There's I feel like there's a lot.
It's deep.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, you don't know. We don't know who Houston's going to end up being either. If Matabuke is available.
Matabuke.
Because, by the way, as much as I looked at Bryce Hawkins, like a 1 year thing, Matabuke really only had this year has been like his breakout year.
That's what I'm saying. He's not going to cost you as much as Chris Jones. Chris Jones is multiple time first team All Pro.
Right.
Yeah, but Chris Jones can literally demand
That's
more because of his accolades.
Matabuke is only 26 years old though.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to get a nice contract. I'm not saying he's going to be cheap. I'm just saying he's not.
Baltimore even lets him walk. I guess they just paid Lamar.
They might have to. Yeah, like they. With all the people, they're going to have to pay Kyle Hamilton. They just paid Marcus Williams. They just paid OBJ. They just paid Lamar.
OBJ's up after this year.
Is he?
Free agent.
Yeah, I thought he was only
he's
1
gone.
year.
He's gone then.
Shit. If Matabuke is available, I'm
throwing the bag at him.
I'm down.
Yeah. I said that like fucking months ago. Dude.
Yeah, you did.
And the day we're allowing pipe dreams, that's one.
Christian Wilkins would not be a bad.
Not at all.
Not be a bad. What's it called?
Pickup.
Compensatory.
A lot of these names you can't go wrong with.
I know the word too.
I would stay away from Fletcher Cox only because he's older.
He is pretty old.
Yeah. But everybody else, I mean, it's not a bad list.
DJ Reader, Sheldon Rankins.
Who's number one on this list for you in terms of fit,
Matabuke,
price, everything?
Matabuke's number one for me, for sure. And then Christian Wilkins probably.
I would say Leonard Williams too for me.
Yeah, because I think price wise too, we might be able to afford Leonard Williams as well.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's tough. Yeah.
Either one of these. I mean, anybody on this list.
Anybody on this list would have me full mass.
Tierra Tart, I'm pretty sure he's with the Titans. Right, the guy from the Titans.
Yeah.
Grover Stewart, is that the Bengals?
Colts. Yeah.
Oh,
he's solid.
Right.
He is.
Grover Stewart.
He's good.
He is good, but he's playing next to what's his name? The big ass motherfucker. He was drafted by
Kwity Paye? Not Kwity Paye.
No. 49ers drafted him. He's huge, like a freak. DeForest Buckner.
Yeah.
DeForest Buckner is a dog, dude.
Dog.
So, like, it's gonna make anybody look a lot better.
Lunchbox Hooligans. DJ Reader had a quad injury. I think that's his second quad injury.
Yeah.
So probably out on that one then.
Christian Wilkins, for me, it's Matabuke or Christian Wilkins.
Yeah. I feel like Christian Wilkins does what Aleem does though, or like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, put him.
I mean, but another Aleem on this defensive line.
Aleem and Aleem, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, for me, I've always liked Leonard Williams. So I'm probably a little bit biased in it, but he's probably my number two.
A little more athletic. I feel like.
But yeah, Matabuke is number one. I'd be all in to throw the bag at him.
Yeah.
Beanroyd, 420. I don't know how much dispo supply you stocked up on, but he said, would you give up paying CJ DJ for Chris Jones?
It's going to take a lot more than that.
Right.
Yes! I don't get the obsession with CJ DJ. I really don't. We 12-5. He didn't play like the whole season.
I mean,
Afonso Melifonwu looks phenomenal out there.
I'm cool with resigning.
Yeah, Brian
CJ.
Branch holding on the nickel spot. There is no need for like CJ DJ. I get it was fun. I get the spirit he brought, and I love the trash talk he had for the other teams. The Baker Mayfield situation, that was fucking dope. It's not. Is it a need?
No, it's not a need.
No. So I don't. Like,
Your
I don't
needs
get
are
why we're hung up on it.
Your needs are outside cornerback and defensive line.
Lucas was saying the same thing too. Why are we hung up on again? All due respect. Why are we hung up on a guy we don't need? We have those positions filled.
Yeah,
and it's not like CJ's not going to break the bank though.
No.
That's the one thing. It's not signing CJ Gardner-Johnson or not is not going to be a deciding factor to whether you can afford Chris Jones or not.
Right.
Chris Jones is he's going to break the fucking bank. That dude's going to make $25+ million a year.
I just wouldn't even like. It's like if it comes at a discount, yeah. But I doubt it's going to come at a discount, and it's just not a need. There's no point in like burning the cash in that if you're chasing a Matabuke or chasing a ring at this point. It's like fill the spots we don't have. And then we can worry about that.
It kind of reminds me of Chark in a sense of like where you were just like arguing, and I was like, I don't see where the big pay raise is going to be. I don't see how he could even ask for more than he got this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like
for him, it was like a market thing, but I wasn't aware of the injury. Like he had that ankle surgery.
Oh, Chark.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah, I think CJ's gonna. Like I said, if you could sign him for 2 for 10, and then you end up cutting ties with Tracy Walker. I'd be fine with that.
I just feel like a lot of people are just disrespectful, really dismissive of what we saw in Iffy, and I think what he
depth
what he
is
did
important.
is insane.
It is important, yeah.
The depth is important, but you could draft that depth. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you want to talk about like, injuries, all due respect. I mean, that's a guy who's kind of been hurt consistently throughout his career too, in CJ DJ.
Sure.
Missed games in Philly, missed games here.
Tell us about Fairway.
Fairway, when we come back, we talk about these cornerbacks. Fairway Pack Company for over 6 years been supplying Michigan's finest hotels, restaurants, and casinos with the finest prime beef, dry aged beef, and Wagyu beef. Make sure you visit fairwaypacking.com and or stop and grab and go steaks in Grosse Pointe.
At Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 19th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal extended through January 19th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? It's a new era in sports wearables. They got hoodies, hats, tees, all guaranteed to turn heads. Click woodwardsports.com and click the shop tab today to get the newest and latest gear.
Merch.
What up there? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. I'm Eazy. That's Young Spinny, Young Chris, and KG. Merch. All right, we've been talking about the Detroit Lions free agency. Pieces we'd love to grab. And I got to... Hey, welcome to Lady James. Sorry. Mine out the gutter. Either way, how about... I was just thinking about this too just now. I was like, we're looking at these top 10 lists, but knowing Brad and every single free agency class we've ever gone into, there's never been... CJ DJ was the first like top 10 guy
we can dream, man. We can dream.
Yeah, today is dreamland. Fuck it. Yeah, we get the dream today. We get the dream today.
Today we dream, tomorrow we live in reality.
Shut up, Chris. All right, let's see those cornerbacks.
No, apologize.
He's sorry, Chris.
All right, I'll take that.
You better put those fucking quarterbacks up there.
Merch. Thank you for apologizing, Spencer.
I think this first two
this falls off hard after the first two.
I think the first two. I mean, Stephon Gilmore would not be bad at all.
Kenny Moore, yeah.
Sean Murphy Bunting. I wanted Sean Murphy Bunting at
He went to CMU. He went to school with
Dory
Tyler.
Jackson ain't bad.
I like it. Yeah, I like a Dory Jackson.
Stephon Gilmore is the one that I look at like, okay, that's realistic. I think Jalen and L'Jarius are both going to get franchised or stay with their team.
Yeah.
Either way, if they get a contract or they get franchised.
When you franchise somebody, does this have to fit within the cap space? Does anybody know?
It's
I feel like I should know that. Much
Yes,
Chevy
it
cares
does.
about that.
It's 100% on the cap.
Because like if they're, and I don't know what they're doing with Chris Jones. I mean, who's
They're
to
not
say?
signing. Chris Jones is not going to be a Kansas City Chief next year.
Yeah.
I'm not discounting. I'm not saying no.
You
There's no
think
way they keep both of them either
You
way,
think Stephon would be an option since his brother is here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's an option as
He's on the
option
older
last
side,
year, to be honest
ain't
with
he?
you.
He's on the older side, ain't he?
Yeah, he is, but he's still a dog.
Yeah, he is.
He went out there and made plays, and he'd be good at mentoring the young guys. And I would like to see Stephon Gilmore. That would be pretty cool.
I gotta be honest. I want a speed guy.
A Dory Jackson.
Yeah.
Like I want
He's
somebody
pretty fast.
fast because I remember listening
Dory
to the
Jackson
St.
ran
Brothers
like a 4.2, I
podcast,
think.
and EQ was kind of just taking shots at our defense a little bit. It's like, well, you guys have like, who's the fastest guy in your defense? And even I was like, oh, well, probably Jerry Jacobs.
Yeah.
And like as much as we like Jerry Jacobs, he's not like super fast or anything like that. Like I think we need some of that.
I don't know, man.
I could be off in that.
I think Stephon Gilmore can get it done even without being the fastest.
Yeah.
Either way,
done-
he's
done it
probably
for
would
a long
cost too
time.
much.
Dude's
Why is
former
Sean Murphy
defensive
Bunting
player of the year.
so low? Did he fall off? Am I missing something?
I don't know.
Sean Murphy Bunting?
He had a bad year, man.
Keyshawn Nixon,
That's the Bucks, right?
Yeah,
he
was,
had a bad year, man.
Keyshawn Nixon, that's Chad's boy, right?
Yeah, but he's
From
more of
the
like
Packers.
he's more of like
He's
a punt
returns-
returner. I don't even know why he's
return
on this
specialist.
list. I don't think he gets start. Oh, I guess he did get a few this year.
Yeah.
Because they traded away. What's his name?
Rasul Douglas.
This just falls off hard after 2.
Yeah, it does.
All right, if you had to pick between, it's kind of going back to
It's
your
also
similar,
wild.
the would you rather what?
Draft guy.
Is there a guy in this class though that like is
Kool-Aid
like the guys?
McKinstry.
Besides him.
Because we're not gonna have
the old dude
opportunity
from
like
Penn
that.
State. I can't remember his name.
Say that white dude. What's his name?
Oh, Cooper DeJean.
The Great White Hope.
He is the Great White Hope. He's gonna be the first white dude to start a quarterback in the NFL in like 30 years.
For 2 games.
He's actually a dog. Like he's a dog. We should draft him. I like how he looks. No,
He's the Dan Campbell guy.
My kind of guy.
Yeah, he is an Iowa player. We know Dan Campbell likes those
Sneaky
Iowa guys.
athletic.
Sneaky athletic. Yeah,
Great
real,
mullet.
real,
The right way.
real lunch pail
Plays
guy.
the right way.
Somebody you take home to mom. He is a guy. Yeah, high character.
Scrappy.
Scrappy, yeah.
No, he actually is those things though.
He's a dog.
He is like literally all those things.
I don't think he's sneaky athletic. Like the man's athletic.
We gonna
he's
You got to be as a white corner. You have to be the most athletic
Yeah,
white guy
for
ever.
sure.
Like, seriously.
His
when he gets drafted, his mom tells him the truth. Like, yeah. Your mailman Deshaun.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a guy named Blake Griffin?
yeah. Sean Murphy Bunting played for the Titans this year.
Oh, the Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
They were just bad this year in general.
between the list and the draft talk, I feel like the option for corner is it not just make a trade? Like
for who?
That's where I'm looking at.
I don't know if you're
like,
trading. I don't know if anybody's trading a high value corner.
I know, but I mean, Jalen Ramsey
High
got
value
dealt
man.
last year, so I mean, it's like it's possible that a high level corner could become available.
Let's have somebody take out Aaron Rodgers. We can make a trade for Sauce.
For Sauce.
Yeah.
That'd
be perfect, bro.
That's too.
Detroit
they would
boys.
never
That'd be
trade him, bro.
literally-
They would
literally
never trade him.
Perfect, man.
Yeah, but come on. I mean,
I know.
hey, today's dream day.
I'm
Fuck
just-
it.
no,
Today's dream day. Fuck it.
that's too much for even dream day. I was just joking with that, but
No, fuck it.
But it seems like that is probably the best way is to count on somebody being unhappy with their contract or their next situation like Jalen Ramsey was last year, and becoming available, and then you talk yourselves into that. I think
maybe
that's
it is
probably the best
L'Jarius
move.
Sneed. Maybe they do a sign and trade.
Is L'Jarius Sneed? That's like an NBA thing. I was just like, wait,
You don't see a lot of that in the NFL.
Who is
you
this?
don't.
They got Cooper DeJean ranked number 1 on the cornerback rankings.
Oh, it's for sure a white guy.
Yeah.
It's for sure a Todd.
Kool-Aid's 4.
Damn.
How old is this?
No, to be fair, my guys, we had him on before. Connor Rogers.
Yeah.
Connor, and his what the hell's his name? I forget his name. I apologize. They have a dope ass draft podcast.
This is
coming on
PFF.
That's PFF.
Yeah.
Who's the name on it?
Got to be a Todd.
Don't tell me it's my guy. Hold on, let me see.
Trevor.
Trevor Sickenham?
Yeah.
Oh.
Trevor Sigma.
All right, maybe we reach out to him earlier than I expected. I was just talking to him like 2 weeks ago.
He's got Cooper DeJean number 1. He's got Nate Wiggins out of Clemson number 2.
Okay.
Wiggins is a legit ball skill, shutdown, athletic abilities. He is more consistent in run defense and overall strength. Part of his game at the top of the list of corners you'd want to go make sure the receiver doesn't catch the ball. At number 3, he's got Teron Arnold from Alabama.
Who's number 2?
Nate Wiggins.
Oh, I thought
number 1, he's got Cooper DeJean. Number 2,
nerd.
Do you watch a lot of college ball?
I do, but not this last year.
Okay.
Yeah. Mostly Michigan games when it counted. So
I want to see this Nate Wiggins guy's numbers.
You know what? Tonight I'll do the homework. I'm gonna reach out to Deion too, because Deion wanted to do the Senior Bowl. I gotta be honest. I've been so locked up in Lions. I don't even know who's like in the Senior Bowl. I know Roman Wilson was out there cooking people. I know there's somebody else that our guy Mike Payton posted.
Cooper DeJean is the 8th ranked prospect on PFF.
Damn.
Is he that good for real?
He is like very good.
Bring him home.
He's a very good cover corner as well as
outside corner.
Yes, as well as
I'm being mad racist right now. I'm like, are you sure?
You're telling me that white motherfucker? No, for real.
I'm being mad. Let me chill a little bit. He's not a nickel. He's
oh my god.
He's very good in coverage. He's a very solid tackler, and he's a freak athlete for sure.
Wouldn't that mean we would have to trade up in that case?
Yeah, we would have to trade up to get him, I'm sure. I want to look at this Nate Wiggins guy though.
How crazy though! In the draft, you think like the prospect, or not the prospect, but like
that
the scouts.
Guy outside corner.
You think the scouts thought in their heads are like,
no way,
do
bro.
we want to do this?
Nate Wiggins, 6'2", 185.
He pauses the video. He pauses the tape. Come on, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
He doesn't even watch it for real. Like,
I'm gonna have to watch this Nate Wiggins. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Not gonna lie.
You watch something right now?
Yeah.
Thanks for being part of the show.
I mean,
I don't know, man. I'm sold on Cooper. This guy sounds like the real deal.
The mere spectacle of it.
He's
would be
like
great.
it's also he's very, very good. He's a very, very good cornerback.
Watch him go to the 49ers.
As well as
Bosa's tearing shit out
as being white.
Of course, you would say he's very, very. Yeah, you're the only guy you're saying for.
Yeah, Spencer's gonna go like he's extremely marketable too. Like,
yeah, that's true. Dan Campbell guy.
100% would be marketable. He'd be on every podcast.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
It's because he'd be the first. He's the great white hope. I mean,
Joey Morrison would buy his jersey in a heartbeat, bro.
For sure.
We finally got one. It's like,
now, is L'Jarius Sneed? I know he's a dog. He's like a. Is he shadowing receivers, or he just like playing his side of the field type of guy?
I think he plays mostly his side.
His side.
Yeah.
So is that worth like investing a shit ton into?
I mean,
I think so.
If you keep Cam Sutton, I would assume so, because he's really a 2.
Yeah.
If you get him a dominant 1, then I think it looks a lot better on defense.
Man. So who would you rather?
Cooper.
Chris is gonna make a custom Cooper DeJean jersey, even if he doesn't get drafted.
I'm gonna spell it wrong and shit.
Yeah. No, but for real, like that kid's good.
Kirby Joseph last night, or I guess 2 nights ago, he was. I think we got some of those tweets. He's frying people on Twitter and Instagram, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Do you want me to pull him up, or you say that?
No, we'll say that would be its own thing. But he had mentioned, somebody asked him like, which DB in this draft class would you like to play with? He said Sandstrom, and somebody in the chat said, "You guys."
Sandstrom's too small. I'm not. I wouldn't. He's not going to be a first-round pick. First of all, he's going to be a mid-round pick, and he's not big enough to be a lockdown corner like we need. I like him. He's got good ball skills, but if you're drafting a lockdown corner on Michigan, it'd be fucking Cornelius Johnson. But
absolutely.
For sure. Oh yeah, but he's not coming.
He can't come out. Yeah.
He's a senior, 5'10", 175 pounds.
Yeah.
Damn, he's only 175 pounds.
I told you, man. He's not a big guy.
You have to bulk up.
Damn, because I remember all the shit they were talking about. The one kid up going to Washington.
Mm-hmm.
He grabbed all the interceptions. Jeff loved him. I don't remember his name. Tall, lanky dude.
Yeah, I know.
He was doing straight until receivers learned to just grab the motherfucker.
Yeah.
I think it was A.J. Brown. I was like, oh, God.
The guy from he was on Mississippi State.
Little Boyd, yeah.
I can't remember his name either.
Either way, but I remember the big thing about him. He weighed like 170 pounds. They make it a big deal about it. Maybe I'm mixing that with that.
Yeah, like Sanchez Hill, he's not the guy you draft to be your lockdown corner.
Yeah.
Is he an outside guy?
He is. He can play outside. He can play inside as well. But
he'd be a nice piece to have.
He'd be a good depth piece. Yeah.
So
Eli Forbes, Emmanuel Forbes. Yeah,
Emmanuel Forbes.
That's who it was.
Shout out John Hughes for that one. So where you at with this then? Would you rather go draft or corner Or
I would. That's where I want to go draft a corner,
Still.
sign a defensive lineman. That's how.
KG, what's your updated take?
I mean, with the line of interior defensive linemen, man, even the edge rushers, it's a pretty good list, man.
I might plant my flag for this Nate Wiggins kid. I'm not gonna lie. He looks pretty good. I'm gonna definitely.
How tall is he?
He's 6'1". 6'1", 195 pounds. So
okay.
I'm gonna look up his. I'm gonna deep dive into his film later, but it looks pretty good from what I was just watching.
I might have to change my choice, but I really don't want another young corner back there. I just don't.
Yeah.
Man.
Is it because he's white?
Give me Cooper. Now, if we get the Great White Hope, that's a little different. But I don't know.
To be honest, they love Iowa dudes. Like we looked at, Philadelphia. You call them the Philadelphia Dogs. We are the Detroit Hawkeyes to an extent with.
Aaron Stoner says,
I'm
"Yo,
all in on
Spenny, just
Cooper.
wondering, are there any Sparties that is worth a damn getting drafted this year?" Jacoby
Some
Whitman
receivers.
might.
Jacoby coming out?
Yeah. Jacoby Whitman might. Our punter is very good on kicking.
All right, we're good.
No,
All
I'm
right.
serious. We had Bryce Behringer. Bryce Behringer,
Behringer.
everybody laughed at him. He was number one punter in the league this year. He was all pro.
Okay.
As a rookie.
All right.
And the kicker,
Where
I don't
you
know if
work
he's
out
coming
at?
back or not.
You talking about kickers and punters?
This motherfucker learned from the punter.
Like,
bro,
look how low
I'm telling you, man.
Just tell about player
I'm
fitness,
just
bro.
giving it to
Just
you
tell about
straight.
player fitness, bro.
All the good guys are underclassmen. Jaron Hall, he's going to be a stud. Let me tell you guys about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where you can work out in and not.
After K9, it was rats.
It's tough. Where you can work out in a judgment-free zone. Planet Fitness is the home of the kickers. Planet Fitness, $10 a month, no commitment needed. There's 15 Metro Detroit, thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Feel alive during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest New Year's sales event ever. Get the best prices on our huge selection of award-winning Chevrolets. Like this 2024 Equinox for $188 per month. Or this 2024 Silverado for $268 per month. It's the New Year's sales event going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Just died for sure. Feldman Auto is Michigan's #1 mustache dealer. Make sure you guys visit feldmanauto.com to find one of the great 18 locations across the state and which one's nearest you. Also, get the best car buying experience in the game. Feldman Auto of Novi is open this morning, Woodward and BDE every other Monday. Sorry, guys. We went full ADD. I apologize.
The stash.
There's a mustache. The TV.
Immaculate mustache on the TV.
Wildly distracting. Spinny always flinches when he has to take a shit.
I do. I get the poop smell.
He's did one of those.
It hits me.
We're all over the place. That was for most. If that's some free agents, I guess they're available. There is one thing I actually want to ask you guys, knowing that John Jackson might be leaving, and it kind of caught me by surprise. Brad Spielberger, the top 10 like every position. Can you pull up the interior offensive lineman list? Ooh. Check this out, because obviously
Is Jonah #1?
Hey,
he's probably top 3. He's got to be top 3.
I'm still letting you go.
Not even on the list.
Wow.
Not even on the list.
Damn.
Wow.
So, a couple things. One, does that make him cheaper? Two,
no.
Is something even
wow.
looking past?
That's pretty crazy.
Not even on the list. Now, granted, some of these guys are centers, but majority are guards.
Wow.
Right? I thought Jonah would be.
I mean,
for
where
sure.
do you think Evan Brown would have been on the list last year? Probably not
great
top
question.
10,
Yeah.
and he still got a nice check from Seattle. So
Did he get like 11?
Yeah,
Like that, or
I
I'm
think,
gonna look it up right
which
now,
was like
actually.
surprising when we saw how much he got. I remember we were like, damn. And I think Jonah is a better offensive lineman than Evan Brown is.
For sure.
So he's going to command a little bit more. I don't know if it's the injury concerns.
Oh, wow. No, Evan Brown got he only signed for $2 million.
Really?
Yeah, I remember that was his expected.
Oh, yeah.
Jonah might be coming back then.
Well, maybe.
If they're doing a last run like Jordan, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Ben's coming back.
Evan Brown's expected was like $13 million.
Yeah, something crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck no.
Spinny, you're an O-line guy. You think Jonah is better than anybody on this list?
I don't know.
Yeah, I really only know Kevin Dotson.
Couldn't tell you these guards.
Christian Berry and Ezra Cleveland.
I know Dalton Risner is very good. Yeah. He's not better than Dalton Risner.
He's no Lloyd Cushenberry, I'll tell you.
He's not, but the players I know on this list are Kevin Dotson, Kevin Ziedler.
I heard Ezra Cleveland.
He played for the Vikings.
Dalton Risner.
They got traded, though.
I don't think he's better than any of those guys.
He played for the Browns, idiot.
Ezra Cleveland.
Dude.
He played Flash. He was Flash.
Oh,
but,
I fucking hate that guy. That guy ruined the
I think Jonah deserves to be on this list. I mean, he's no Lloyd Cushenberry. That's funny.
He's in Minnesota and he got traded to Jacksonville.
Yeah. I don't think he's better than, like I say, he's not better than Kevin Dotson or Kevin Zietler.
Yeah.
But he should be on this list. Dalton Risner is a very good player as well.
If I'm being honest with you guys, like I know we're looking at this list for like possible free agents that we would sign. I'd rather go draft.
Yeah.
You know,
that's the way to go.
Like fourth, because I feel like a lot of these guys are probably third to fourth.
Yodi went in there and did fine. Yodi did fine against the 40.
He's all right. No, you're not wrong though. And that's what we've been like with Jonah too. I mean, Jonah and Graham, they kind of just both been like that guard position on either side has been like a revolving door of different players like these past 2 years. And we've still cashed in a top 3, top 5 offensive line in the league both these years. What are you giggling about?
Chris, dude, he's no Lloyd
Cushenberry.
He's no Lloyd
Cushenberry.
I mean, he's not.
That was funny.
He is not Lloyd Cushenberry.
I think it's the injury stuff might be keeping him off that list, maybe. I don't know. Because he's very good when he plays.
He has had quite a bit of an injury.
He gets injured every year.
If it's $2 million, like Evan Brown signed, are you bringing him back?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would for sure.
Yeah.
Especially with Frank up in the air.
I really feel like that might be on some Last Dance stuff. I mean, it's kind of with this. Ben coming back was a surprise.
That is a surprise.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. Kevin Garnett.
KG, you were the one saying he'd come back, weren't you?
Yeah.
Were you still surprised?
Yeah, I did think he would get the Washington job, but after all these hirings kind of went up quick, I figured he would probably stay.
Yeah.
But he turned down Seattle too. I felt like that was a good destination too.
Yeah.
So I don't
know. One last ride.
Oh, that's kind of depressing. They want to know if Chris has. You want to do play path today or tomorrow?
I mean, I'm ready whenever. If we want to do it today, well, I'm out tomorrow, but Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, he's going to celebrate his grandma's birthday for the 6th time.
Dude, for the second time.
It's just crazy.
The second time. I had family in town for a surprise.
The Canada family?
Gathering. And then today's her actual birthday, so we're going out to dinner.
Oh, shout out Gramps.
Yeah, shout out.
Oh, you know what we can get in actually before we do go to break actually?
The tweets?
Frank Ragnow clip.
Oh.
Talking about getting interior offensive lineman.
Well, we got a tweet. I don't know about a clip. Where's the clip?
Oh, I don't think actually. No, I definitely did not send it.
Yeah, but we got Kirby's tweets and we got the quote.
Yeah, do the quote.
Oh, the Kirby tweets. Yeah, we didn't do those.
Shout out to Brad Holmes Bulge. You want to make sure I got it. Shout out for this one.
What?
This is where I grabbed it from.
Pause.
These are quotes from the Frank Ragnow
Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no.
Pause.
Relax.
I thought it was gonna be that picture. I thought it was gonna be the picture of Herb.
I mean,
Dean.
shout out to that too, man. You got big balls. He's making great picks.
Have you seen the picture of Herb Dean that's been floating around Twitter where he's like staring at that dude's bulge?
No.
Dude, it's so funny. But go ahead.
This is all you. This guy's too small.
Oh, okay. Shout out Brad Holmes Bulge. Along with knees and ankle injuries, Ragnow has battled reoccurring toe problems for 3 seasons, and also was listed on the injury report this year with a back injury. He said he's going to take some time this offseason to figure out his health. It takes a toll on you, Ragnow says. It really takes a toll on you, so I need to find a way to get to Frank, and I don't regret any of this at all, but it weighs on you. I'm just going to take some time to really figure everything out and to make sure I'm feeling good, not only for me, the football player, but for me, the best husband and best father and everything with that as well. So that does sound a little retiree when you talk about it like that. But
what'd you call him?
Bro's a retired.
This guy, Chris Broussard, is this guy retired?
But also, Frank, love you, buddy. I spoke about your bulge the last time we won a playoff game on this very mic. But Frank, take all the time you fucking need, man. You don't got to show up until a week before the first game. We know who you are. We know what you bring. You know this system. You know your teammates. You know Jared Goff. Take all the time you want, man. You could skip OTAs. You could skip minicamp. I don't care. As long as you're there week 1, game 1, that's all that matters. You don't have to show up until the walkthrough before the first game.
Yeah.
I believe in Frank. I know he'll keep his body ready to go if he does decide to come back.
Yeah. If he retires, can you blame him, though?
No.
He's on the injury report for 5 different things, though. Like, seriously.
There's back, toe, ankle, elbow, eyelash.
leg, damn.
My back,
Like,
my
this
neck,
guy
my
fucked
back.
up, man.
Frank needs $100,000 or a 40. Like, that guy can stay out as long as he needs to get right. If he's coming back, thank God. If he doesn't, Frank, we love you, appreciate you, everything.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I do hope he comes back. And honestly, I think
need
he
him
will.
back. Like I don't want to say we need him back, but it is an extremely pivotal part of our offense.
I think the return of Ben and the return of Hank, Frank coming back. Because that was the pressure from last night. That's
Sheila
where
better get him in
quote
that
from.
Henry Ford Trauma Center.
For sure.
Put some
Give him the
F1
leg.
toes on that bitch. I don't know what you call them.
F220s or something.
Built Ford toes.
Right.
Like, got those bitches ready to go.
They got AI now, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Make an AI.
3D print that man some toes.
Right, come on
Like,
now.
what the fuck?
What was that? What
2024.
was that one dude? That one famous runner, Oscar.
Oh, dude, the Blade Runner, the guy that killed his girlfriend. bad callback, Chris. Fucking Oscar Pistorius.
Yeah,
terrible.
get him those.
Let me
He's not
tell you
using
about. Let me tell you about Big Boy. Wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl. How about breakfast? The stuffed potato pancakes are back. Try the classic lumberjack or Santa Fe Garden. Also the new apple pie hotcakes that are too good to miss. Top it all off with a gingerbread shake for dessert. All of that at your local Big Boy. Stop there today.
At Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 19th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal extended through January 19th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports Crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays to join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Swiss is the best in the game at home with all insurance. Make sure you guys hook up with the best. That's my guy Mark at SwissINS.com. Check him out.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights final segment here. We got a couple things to go through. Appreciate you all for being with us. Make sure you smash that like button and share the stream. For Eazy, for KG, for Chris, I am Spencer. We are the Heavyweights. We've had a great day today, and somebody's been having a great day on Twitter the past couple days, and that has been one Kirby Joseph. Kirby Joseph has been going absolutely nuts on haters on Twitter. It is so funny. This is one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite ones.
Some of my favorites.
I took a screenshot of it and sent it in, and it's a quote of a tweet that he tweeted that someone made a quote of, and he quoted the tweet of the quote of his quote.
Lost.
And the quote that the tweet is quoted of,
Jesus Christ,
it
relax.
says, "Why would I retire now? I'm just getting started. I'm still farting like a motherfucker." He quoted that and said, "Words from a wise man." Dude, I fucking love Kirby Joseph. This shit is hilarious.
Chris, I just sent mine.
He's been absolutely obliterating people. I sent it another one too, Chris.
You want that one right now?
Yeah, you could put that one up as well.
My bad. I sent mine in pairs.
This is another one of my favorites. That infamous feuder. Some guy, he's been talking shit. Some Rams fans been talking shit. And Kirby's been clapping back. And the guy said, "LMAO, bum had the time and balls to respond." And Kirby quoted it and said, "Balls of steel. I don't know how I'd be walking around."
I just picture Stan Marsh in the wheelbarrow, like.
I fucking love Kirby.
Stan Marsh in the wheelbarrow, like South Park.
Oh yeah.
With the medicinal fried chicken episode.
I don't remember which movie it is, but they replaces balls with like metal. I think it's
Spaceballs.
No, I think it's AJ Cody Banks or some shit like that.
AJ Cody Banks.
Not AJ Cody Banks.
Bro,
no way.
It is some movie where he gets his balls replaced with like metal things. Like when he walks, it's like ding.
It's not AJ Cody Banks.
Right,
I can probably assure you of that. But I love this because Kirby's taking his time out of the day to fuck these trolls up on Twitter, and he waited. Like, he waited until they were out of the playoffs. He's like, okay, now I got time. And he's responding to all these guys. It's fucking awesome, dude.
I was talking to a couple guys, and I guess they were like on the runway to leave from California for like 3-4 hours.
Oh, shit.
Before they actually took off. So it was just.
Kirby's just been going hard. Hell yeah, he's got time today, man. This shit's awesome.
Chris, you got any of those ones I sent you?
Yeah. Did you want the pictures with them, like the Zoom?
Yeah, if you don't mind. Just because these ones,
because I have the tweets right here.
People tweet at me. So you can put them together if you want. If it's too late, it's fine.
Yeah.
But these people shout out these tweets, and basically what Kirby did. I do this too. If someone has something to say, I'll click on the profile picture if you are stupid enough. But this is a guy hating on Kirby. It says, "Don't take out any ACLs while jet skiing, or just by being you." And this is Kirby's response. Just took the man's profile picture.
Yeah, hold on. Let me grab that.
Okay. Damn it, Chris.
Let me grab that.
All right.
Sorry, I thought they were just zoomed in ones of the actual like profile.
You're good. Essentially, he took his profile picture and shit on him. Yeah. But the next one, if you put it up, you can if you want. The next one's my favorite because this was even the guy's like profile picture. This is by the worst kind of troll. Right? You don't even have a profile picture yourself. It's not even your name. You're not standing on none of the shit that you're talking. You just hide behind fucking whatever your Twitter profile is. I think that's the lamest shit. But here's this guy. Okay, he says, "Can't wait to hear that Kirby Joseph has a career-ending injury. That guy blows." His profile picture is not him. It's a picture of Babytron. Yeah. So Kirby quoted. I obviously know it's Babytron, but he quoted the profile picture. What the hell did he say? Let me find it.
I think
quick.
he just put like some crying emojis.
Yeah. He was just laughing at me. Yeah, it said "bruh," crying emojis, but like literally, no, that's like not even him. That's Babytron.
And
for
then
real.
Do you have what he said about the other guy?
I think it's "boy, you ugly as fuck."
Yeah,
or some
he said
shit.
"boy, you ugly as fuck" and zoomed in on his picture.
Yeah. And then, bro, did you guys see Cam Sutton?
Cam Sutton.
Yeah, I heard he was going crazy too.
Yeah.
I ain't see it, but I heard he was going.
Cam Sutton was going wild to some replies on Instagram as well.
Trying to get canceled.
His lines, he was using some words that
he was making no fans in Ferndale.
He used one of the words that describes the people in Texas. Yeah. He said, "Anthony, your ass ugly as fuck." That dude, I love Kirby, man. That's just.
I was just looking at it. He retweeted you. Did you see that?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Shout out. That's my guy.
Shout out. 31 Savage.
I met Kirby we met him at Feldman.
Yeah.
I
was there when Malcolm came.
Yeah.
I was late.
He pulled up. I think it was with Malcolm.
No, Malcolm came after because I know I came and I met Malcolm. Kirby was like right before.
I forget who he was there with. Josh Pascal maybe, I don't know, but it was Josh
dope. Pascal makes sense. They're all the same class, right?
Yeah.
It
was dope, and Kirby's a cool guy, man. He's funny, and that shit is hilarious. Him just going at people. But Mailbag. Where's the mailbag questions? Mailbag. Spencer, you must be doing backflips right now that Ben Johnson is staying. LOL. Yes, I am, Steve-O, baby. I am, as all Lions fans should be. He is the man, for sure. Anybody else?
I want to read a comment because I know I asked somebody something. It was one of the AG people. I said, okay, yeah, it was Paul Thomas. He's one of the residential AG haters.
Yes.
Really? So, Paul, what's the biggest needed position on this team?
Kirby Spencer is a great idea.
Okay. It is Paul, if you're still listening. So you got cornerback as the number one need. What's the second need position for the team? Don't let it be another defensive player while you're dogging AG. That's all I'm saying.
It definitely is.
Don't let it be another defensive player if you want to sit there and dog AG.
It 1,000% is.
If you want to pretend he's going to battle with equivalent armory as Ben Johnson.
I'd say 4 of the top 5 needs for this team are defensive players.
Yes, I'd say so.
And then 5 is a kicker.
Yeah, the fact that he's interviewing as a head coach for the teams. If he's a bad defensive coordinator, I don't think those guys are getting head coaching positions or interviewing for head coaching positions. They're just
They're just not as smart.
What we're doing, guys. I really don't. Huh?
I said they're just not as smart as him, clearly.
Lloyd Ostrander, not to be confused with Lloyd Cushenberry.
Yeah, no.
Says
definitely not.
How do we kill same old Lions fans? That shit is annoying. Well, I don't advise you killing anybody, but yeah, you're not gonna. They're gonna beat them. They're gonna beat Anson. Anson's gonna Anson.
Paul Thomas. Did he ever dead that? No. No. Gotta be honest though, the way that game crumbled.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, you shut your horn mouth.
I'm just saying.
You shut your horn
I'm just saying. Second position to need Paul Thomas as defensive tackle. So we got cornerback, defensive tackle.
And then number 3 is edge rusher. I would say. And number 4 is probably cornerback again.
That guy Anson was looking like somebody Nick would have drafted.
Yeah, for sure was looking like somebody Nick would have drafted. He was definitely looking like he would have been first pick in the Kidnap the Governor League.
Right there.
Damn, J.K. Cruiser. This is not a mailbag, but he said he was stabbed in Grand Rapids 3 years ago. Or stabbed 3 times up in Grand Rapids years ago.
Who was? He was?
Oh, that's
stay out of Grand Rapids.
Yeah. Sorry, bro.
They clearly ain't fucking with you.
I just want to where that conversation that one started.
All right, dude, keep that negative shit elsewhere.
Mailbag, where are you gonna get your next tat of Zorro? I'm gonna get it on my other thigh. It's gonna be I got Sanji on my left thigh. I'm gonna get Zorro on my right thigh, and it's gonna be the nothing happened.
One Piece.
Yeah.
Zorro. Okay.
Yeah.
I was making sure.
Are you anime
making
guy?
sure it wasn't Antonio Banderas or no shit like that. I'm like, what Zorro?
I'm getting Puss in Boots on my thigh. No, but yeah, I'm gonna get it's.
How's little Zorro was called?
It's a dope.
Antonio Banderas.
It's a dope picture of Zorro. I'm gonna get that done. I gotta save some money for that though.
How was Zorro 1 year for Halloween?
$500. Cost me, I think $495 for this one, so it's gonna be the same amount.
Just a Fan says number 1 position I need kicker, number 2 position I need kicker, number 3 position I need kicker. Where's kicker rank in your guys' position I need?
5.
Same for you?
4.
It can't be that high. I'm not even gonna use it.
Yeah, it's not.
Sure.
Like, I'm fairly confident because I remember I was on the BR stream and I kept because the people in the chat were saying the same shit, and I didn't have any numbers in front of me. Why didn't I have those numbers, bro? That production was dope as fuck, by the way. Whenever you didn't have anything, if you start talking about it, they would just pop it up on the screen, like the stats or whatever. But anyway, so I was like, I don't want to hear you say shit about Dan Campbell until you pull up Michael Badgley's kicking percentage from 40 yards plus. They pulled it up at 77%. I was like,
Hezzy.
all right, well he just didn't want to use him.
Yeah.
It's what it is, man.
It's fair. But that'll do it for us today. Appreciate y'all tapping into the Woodward Heavyweights. Make sure you guys smash the like button. For Eazy, for KG, for Chris, for Lloyd Cushenberry, for me, Spencer Raxter. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Smash the like button.
Peace.
Peace.